Getting dicey.
Go.
It was a more subtle segue into the game that time.
Bit of a jazz singer, like a lounge singer.
I had this all planned, but we got too into conversing. Where I was gonna go. It's been 1 week since we played D&D. Like the song, but.
What?
I'm glad I did.
Oh.
You don't know that song? The old 90s, that old terrible 90s song.
Yeah. Stop stealing Bill's shtick.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, Bill.
Singing songs that
good.
no one recognizes.
Rough.
No, I did recognize it.
Well,
No,
when you're doing Erasure songs, you can't.
That was
I don't even know who that
How did you
is.
not know that?
I'm serious, I don't even know who
the
that
shock,
is.
the absolute shock from Bill when he was like, "What? What?"
Who?
And I said, which Erasure song is it? And he said it's the only one he knows. So
Okay, let's get into it.
Wait, did you say Eurasia or Erasure?
Erasure.
Okay.
You're the one
Good.
that sung it. You should.
You're singing Eurasia songs.
Yeah, I was like, this is obviously a band I'm not familiar with.
Bare Naked Ladies. That was the
Anyway,
name of the band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gutted that nobody recognised the Bare Naked Ladies.
I'm gutted. Literally, no one laughed, and I just sat here in my shame.
Welcome to my life.
Turns out New Zealand comedy's not so easy after all, is it?
Oh,
You should have stuck to shaft-based material.
I should have. I don't know why I was.
It's all right.
Yeah.
You occasionally get a very nice message from somebody being like, "That was great, thanks."
Yeah. Or asked if you've got an Instagram, which can't help. Can't help. Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so you guys are mainly in the second floor of the this windmill. You've just wiped out the three hags, and they've shown their true form, and you've heard this call from upstairs for help. A small child's voice calling out for help. And you all go, well, American, you've gone to head upstairs, but time just stops once again.
No.
And a small glittering of light appears sort of in between Morley and Ismark, sort of in between you two, and out steps Needle. And he looks down at the floor. He looks at the windmill and looks down at the floor at these bodies that are on the ground. He's like, "Oh my gosh, this turned out better for you than I actually thought it might. This is very, very interesting. But you know the drill. Let's get to it." And with a wave of his hand, this wheel appears behind him, and he spins the wheel. And I don't have the big actual physical wheel yet, unfortunately. But we're going to spin the no combat wheel because you're not currently
there's
in
two
combat.
wheels?
There's a combat wheel and a no combat wheel. And the wheel spins and it spins and it spins and it ends up pointing at a little section of this wheel. And Needle says, "Oh, this one's a very interesting one. We're going to see how this one turns out. The only clue you get this time is firm grip." Oh, interesting. I wonder what that...
We are
Who
children.
whispered that?
Be careful, everyone.
And he says,
Hold on.
Yeah, careful of that shaft.
"You
It
guys are all
says what it
frozen."
does in the chat.
Oh, does it? It was
Yeah,
meant
we
to-
can
that's
see
fine.
it.
Okay, well, you guys can see it. That's fine.
We can
Because I was
see
going
it, just
to,
letting you know.
I was going to give you a clue anyway.
No handshaking.
Which is, well, you might want to. He says, so you might want to be a
Social
little
distancing.
careful next time you introduce yourselves. And a toodaloo, he says as he disappears off into the ethereal plane. And time kicks back in again.
That was weird.
Mysterious.
Yeah. Fucking
Oh,
strange.
I'm
cat.
off to shake all the children's hands.
That's right, the children.
The children! Can someone please think of the children? I'm going to rush towards the children.
Okay, let's zoop upstairs. American, you see the sort of the room where you originally saw the two younger women sort of dancing with glee and eyeing up these crates against the wall. And you look over at the crates, and there's 3 sort of one on top of each other. The top one is completely empty, but the middle and lower ones both contain like small kids. They both look to be somewhere between 5 and 10 years old.
Well, I'm going to rush forward and I'm going to say, "Cherubs, I'm here to save you!" And I'm going to try and, I don't know, see if there's a lock or if something I can open on the crate.
Yeah, it's literally just got like a nice simple latch on the front with on a hinged door. There's no padlock, there's no key required. You can literally just flick the latch and open up these crates.
Okay, I'm going to quickly open it up and I'm going to say, "You're safe now, you're safe now."
I think you notice that there's like a lot of crumbs. They're wearing kind of rag clothing, almost like just potato sack kind of clothing at this point. And there's just crumbs all around them. And the oldest of the 2, which is a boy, is in the bottom crate, and he looks out at you with these red eyes just from all the crying. And he kind of just peers out and looks around, and he says, "Are they gone? Oh, are we going to be okay?"
Those evil old women are gone. We've come to save you.
And
There's some men down below, but don't worry, they're not here to hurt you.
and he just wipes his eyes. He wipes his eyes and gets out of the crate, and he stands up tall. He goes, "I wasn't even afraid, not even once. Not me. I'd never be afraid."
Oh,
And he stands like proudly with his like his fists on his hips.
oh, precious little one. I'm going to call down to everyone. The little ones are safe.
I'm going to walk up.
Morley's going to run up.
Okay, cool. I won't worry about moving tokens at this point. It's just sort of like theatre of the mind. So Morley and Baron, you guys both head upstairs, and you see this young boy, maybe 7 years old, was sort of standing proudly next to American, clearly having been crying for a long time, trying to puff his chest out, and he sees both you two run up, and just he's holding back tears, like he's kind of trying to be like big and strong in front of the person who's opened up his cage, but he's almost in tears again. And the little girl still in that top cage is just slowly, like, now that Murikin's unlatched, is just sort of like opening up the cage a little bit, and she's looking out, and she's a lot quieter, and the same sort of red cheeks again. Red eyes and red cheeks from all the crying.
I'm going to see if I can get them something to eat from whatever I'm holding and offer them.
I mean, there's
Not
some
a
good
pie.
pies downstairs.
I'm going to quietly say, I think we should burn those pies.
Yeah, I think you'd get a little bit of food out of your case and hand it to them. And the boy takes it and says, "Thanks, Miss, but I'm not that hungry. They've been feeding us way too much since we've been here."
Poor thing.
Yeah.
Let's get you
Don't
out
worry.
of here.
Is that what all these crumbs
Morley.
are?
Yeah, so basically you're sort of like putting it together, that all the crumbs in their cage are just little bits of food from what they've been fed.
Morley?
Morley's going to carry the girl out of, like, so if she was in the top crate, Morley's going to carry the girl and kind of like pop her down on the floor.
Yeah, the moment.
And
Oh, sorry, carry on.
sorry.
No, you go.
I just want to say, if we're going to be carrying them downstairs, I think we should cover their eyes and not let them see the grisly scene below.
Yeah.
Put my hat on. The sailor's hat. Morley kind of takes his seafaring hat off and pops it over the little girl's head, but kind of tilts it down just over her eyes.
Yeah, I think when you pick her up, the whole movement from helping out of the cage and putting her onto the ground, the moment you pick her up and sort of get her close, she just like reaches out and clings for your coat and just holds on so tight. This little kid showing the strength that you wouldn't expect from someone that may be only 5. And you go to put her down, and she does not want to let go. And you feel
All right.
Something that overcomes you, Morley. This is something that you haven't really experienced before, but you're feeling your normal kind of emotions that you'd be feeling from this. But there is an extra layer of sadness that you're feeling, and you're not sure really where it's coming from. It's like maybe one of your pockets, or one of the wherever you put that, like that blade, that grip, that handle that you thought was the sunblade, that it's coming from there. There's like this sadness coming from that area of you, and you're feeling that as if it's feeling something.
You'll be alright now. What did it take? And I just kind of clear my throat with a lump in it. I'm not going to address that right now.
Let's get them out of here.
Okay, cool. Let's go over to Bill. Bill, what's Bill up to at the moment? You're down with Ismark and Loris and a bunch of dead bodies.
I think right now I'm just waiting for the kids to come down.
Okay.
I'm not going to get in the way. We all saw how ineffective that was. Maybe just clear a bit of a path by moving some of these bodies out the way. And if there's something like a cape or something I can maybe throw over them in a corner or whatever.
Yeah, give me an investigation roll. Because on a quick look, it looks like a pretty empty floor. But give us an investigation roll and see if there's something we can find.
I rolled the first one's a 24.
Okay, perfect.
Which was a crit success.
Yeah, perfect. You find just under one of the stairs, like up against the stairs, just some kind of, maybe it's like old bags of what used to be flour. Like you find like some discarded bags, and you think you could use
some Hessian sacks.
Yeah, you think you could possibly use those to hide in some way these bodies.
Hey, Loris, give me a hand here, would you? And I'm just like trying to drag the bodies into a corner and pile them up so I can hide them.
Okay, cool. All right, let's bounce back upstairs. American, Morley, and Baron. What are your plans from this point?
I want to help take the children out to the carriage where they'll be safe and away from the windmill.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just want
what
to carry
about
the
the
little girl
rest?
downstairs and outside.
Yeah, okay. I'd say both of you guys head downstairs, and you're both kind of like shielding your eyes from the woman that sort of lying dead, now hidden sort of up against the wall, up behind some sacks. Baron, what are you up to?
Well, seeing as the children are safe, I want to investigate these creatures they did look like humans, but now they're something else.
Yeah, okay. How do we want to do that? Do you want to give me probably, I'll let you choose, either a medical check if you're looking at kind of looking at their body parts and stuff, or an arcana check if you're trying to look back through your knowledge of everything.
I think I'll do Arcana and see if I know what kind of creatures they are.
Okay.
So that's a 2 plus 7.
Total of 9. That's not too bad. Let's bring up some information on here. You're not really certain. You're not certain about exactly what kind of creature they are, but you have heard of these things called hags. You've never met one. You've never seen one. But the one thing that you think may tie these creatures to being these hags is the fact that you need 3. You know this from your studies. You need 3 to create a coven of hags, and if you have that coven, then you have extra power. You really get these extra abilities, and you remember that when Morgantha died, the remaining 2 seemed to get a bit weaker. So you kind of you're not 100% sure, And that's
So they're hags.
You think they could be what you've heard of as being hags, yeah.
Do they have any kind of objects around the room that look like they don't really belong to the windmill, but there may be like books
children's bones? That's
children's bones, or anything that would let me know if they have some sort of like a culture, or they do rituals, or what the purpose of what they do.
yeah,
they have these children.
Obviously, that the crystal ball that got shattered, obviously, is probably the first thing that comes to mind. Secondly, that big barrel of ichor down on the ground floor.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's I can't put together any sort of reason apart from just being evil that they're making pies out of children.
Yeah.
This is just what they do.
There's nothing in here that gives you any indication of why this is what they're up to. And with them dead, you can't ask them, I guess, unless you've got some kind of spell.
Later on, I'll go check out that ichor.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I think you get to a point, Morley and American, as you bring them down, and Ismark sees you bringing down these kids, and this is when he finally realizes that the sort of the severity, and he sees the girl being carried by Morley. He goes, "Oh, Myrtle, no, oh no." He clearly knows her by name. This is a face he recognizes. And the little girl looks up upon hearing her name and sees Ismark, and there's just like this massive smile on her face, and she kind of starts reaching out towards Ismark, and Ismark he's fighting back tears as he approaches Morley and just says, "May I take her, please?"
Morley, judging that she's happy to see him, of course.
Yeah.
Just hands her across.
And really,
there you go. And takes my hat back.
Really solemnly, he's so gentle. You've never seen him this gentle before. Like, takes Myrtle out of your arms, holds onto her, and just a tear starts rolling down his cheek as he walks down the stairs to the ground floor. And I think, American, you're kind of probably going to follow suit. Yeah?
Yep.
Cool. You follow, and Ismark gets to the door, to the ground floor door, and just calls out softly towards Irina. And Irina pokes her head out of the carriage, which has been parked close to this windmill now. She sees young Myrtle as well, and her face is just so shocked. And she just, in a one swift movement, the door to the carriage is open, and she is running towards Myrtle. And then sees the young boy in your arms, American, and sees that Ismark is looking after Myrtle, and just comes running towards you, and is just all about making sure that this young boy is okay. And the young boy, trying to hold back tears, is, "I'm all right, Irina. I'm okay, Irina. Don't worry. Don't worry. And you kind of help put the young boy and the young girl into the carriage along with Irina and Ismark. Is there anything else happening inside this windmill?
I'm just doing my investigation, but once that's over,
Yeah.
that's me.
Okay, cool. Loris, what are you up to?
Obviously, I was helping Bill move and cover these bodies, but now all the kids have been found. The thought crosses my mind, maybe we need to destroy the mill so it doesn't assist in making more pies and sort of continuing this process. But I'm not going to say...
wasn't making
The mill
pies.
wasn't evil. To be clear, the mill was not possessed.
I'm just saying
It
the thought
was
has
to
crossed my
keep people
mind.
into making non-child pies.
Possibly, but there are still these pies. I actually also did think that I might just pocket a few of these pies while no one's watching.
There are like a bunch of pies currently in that
I'm
oven.
thinking of stashing a few of them.
Yeah.
I did want to come back to the mill after dropping the children off to the carriage and tell my fellows that I think that these pies may be made of children. I think that's probably safe to assume these evil hags were doing that, and I think we need to respectfully destroy these pies in the manner one would a body. They need to be laid
Eaten.
to rest. We need to lay these pies to rest.
Yeah, they're not really just pies, are they? They're child
It's a
corpses.
This is. It makes me ill to think that these women were doing this. It's disgusting. It's horrible, and I mourn the death of these children.
It's just come into my mind. I'm not saying it out loud, but I ate one of these pies.
2 of them.
You ate 2 of
Two.
them.
You're
You
a
ate 2
cannibal.
of them.
2 delicious pies.
They were.
Oh, Brian!
They were
Oh, Brian,
delicious.
no!
Brian.
Well,
Oh dear.
while I like the idea of heading back in and letting people know this, American, I do need to give Loris the chance to do something while you were delivering these children
That's fair enough.
to
That's
the,
fair
to
enough.
the carriage.
I think these thoughts passing through. I'm going to stash it. I'm going to grab 5 of these pies and just sort of stash them away, wrap them up in whatever I can find. I guess I've got some cloth somewhere
Yeah.
in my pouch, and just going to satchel them all up and put them on my bag for later.
Yeah.
I'm contemplating setting the oven alight, but I'm not going to just yet because, well, it would seem overly destructive. But I'm just going to wait and see what happens.
Protect the shaft.
Just pause and
Protect the shaft. That's
protect the shaft. Yeah,
My
the
life
shaft
mission.
is important.
yeah.
I really don't want to
God.
hurt American by just destroying the shaft.
Yeah.
Clearly that would be bad.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to wait for a moment because obviously there's a fair bit going on. I'm just kind of watching. Everything seems okay. Nothing's terribly jumping out of the walls, but I'm just going to sort of, grab a few of these
Sure.
pies.
So you leave about 7 in the. There was 12 total. You've taken 5 of them. You've left about
Yeah.
7 in this oven. The oven's still going, but the pies do look like they're starting to get a little burnt, like they've been in there a little
Is
too
it possible to crank the heat up on the oven just so they burn to a crisp?
long. It's not an
Like, is
electrical
there any
one, but
heat
you can
controls
throw
or-
some.
Yeah.
Some more wood
Uh,
in to really get this thing going.
All right, I
Throw
just
some
want
more
to chuck
bones in there.
I'll chuck a few extra logs. If there's a pile of wood or sort of chuck a few logs on the fire and so it just basically burns them to a crisp.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you do that in response to what I said, or did you start doing that before I came in and said the thing?
Right, so
Okay,
American, you'd
so-
come back into this ground floor of this windmill now, and you're seeing Loris throwing these bits of wood into the oven to try and really get that oven cooking, and you can see that you take one look in, and there's half an oven full of these pies at this point.
Okay. Well, I'm sure I wouldn't have known how many pies there were at
Yeah.
the time. I probably would not have noticed such a detail. So I'm just
Sure.
going to assume that he is trying to be respectful to the poor dead children and burn them. And I'm gonna nod at him and sort of repeat what I said before about how this is the right thing to do to show respect.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I'm going to be like, oh, that's a good idea, Loris. And I'm going to pull out I think I've got 2 pies left.
Mm.
And I'm going to throw them into the fireplace.
Okay.
And as I do it, I'm going to start feeling a bit ill.
I'm going to say an elvish prayer over the poor pies. The child pies. I'm going to pray for the child pies. May their spirits return and become whole again.
And in the background, I'm vomiting into
Oh, Brian!
barrel of ichor.
Yeah.
Poor
Brian
Brian.
ate the children!
For anyone who just doesn't know, ichor is basically that watery fluid that comes out of wounds. So there's like this
Ew.
big barrel of that
Ooh.
just sitting.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's not what ichor is, is it?
That's what. That's what. Yeah.
That's placental fluid.
It's
Yeah.
also the same.
Oh,
name of
wounds. I thought you said wounds.
No, wounds.
Okay, wounds. Oh, that's ichor?
Yeah.
I thought it was just all foul, whatever foul
Yeah.
stuff. There's that
I
specific.
think it's ichor, and I think it's like basically internal fluids that are
Yeah.
leaking out. That's not specifically like blood or
Yeah.
anything.
yeah.
It could be
Right.
like
Weeping
bile.
wound.
Yeah, like yeah.
Ew.
I can
Why
be
did
bile
they
as well.
say this?
So it's basically just a big barrel of this disgusting.
I don't like
fluid.
it.
Now it's also
Yeah, it's like
accompanied by my
creature
vomit.
fluid.
I guess when you're making human people pies, a bit of bodily fluids is used for lard.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
maybe.
Lard is-
I don't know.
Wally's face.
I don't.
Just like greasing up a saucepan or something.
Yeah. It seems reasonable,
You
right?
could just use the child's fat for that.
You could,
That's what Lard did.
A funny definition of reasonable, but okay.
Oh, how gross.
Yeah.
How gross.
I'm
Just
gonna
while
stumble outside. Oh, sorry, Bill.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, just while all of that stuff's happening, after I've finished, I was helping Loris put these things, hide these things away. But I'm just gonna do a quick little search of their bodies, just to make sure they're not carrying anything.
That's fair.
Called it.
The the only thing.
Just I happened across a sack of gold that they happened to have on their person as I was putting them down. That kind of thing.
Yeah, cool. The only thing that you find on them, because obviously they're not going to be like sitting at home with all of their gear on them. The only thing that you can find was inside one of the pockets on Morgantha's clothing, and it's just a small black gem. But you've got it's not a gem that you've seen before, and you can't really give me an Arcana roll.
Sure. Hey, Baron, what do you think about this gem?
Yeah.
Can we maybe put our heads together and see if we can work this out?
Sure, maybe I can help.
Yeah. So roll with advantage then, Phil.
I rolled a 10 plus 2.
Yeah, you're not too sure. You're not too sure. It doesn't look like something that has. The only thing that you can really figure out, it doesn't look like it's been mined. It doesn't look like it's something you'd find in any natural rock. It looks like a gem that may have been created somehow. That's all you can really pick.
Is that
from
like a
this.
kidney stone or something, Bill?
Maybe. Pretty gross if it is.
Yeah,
I hope not.
it definitely has like a this ominous kind of feel to it.
What shape is it?
It's almost like an elongated sphere.
An oval.
Like a cylinder or an oval?
Like an oval, but in 3D.
A turd shape.
Let's go with that.
No, that's a
Sure.
soft serve.
Yeah, it's a soft serve shape.
think
It's
it's,
just like
Sorry, I
Princess cut, isn't
didn't.
it?
You started detailing it, but I didn't mean to go downstairs just yet. Oh wait, Morgantha's upstairs. Never mind. I just want to do a quick recce
yeah.
up and down, make sure everything's kosher.
Yeah, you head upstairs and you see like everything that you saw as a frog earlier. You see the crates that you bounced over, and you see the bed over in the corner. Can you give me a perception roll?
Sure. I take the first one.
Yeah,
I rolled a 7 plus 4.
Cool. You see, the beds do not look comfortable at all. They don't look like they've been really used for sleeping. And as you go past, something sort of catches your eye, and you notice that sort of stuffed within the sides of these straw mattresses are just a few like cheap bits of jewelry. And you think you'd probably get a little bit for them if you were to sell them, maybe like 150 gold pieces worth of jewelry just sort of tucked away within this mattress.
Just 150. That's 15 times more than Morley asked for our entire campaign.
Let's be fair.
It's just
Molly-
cheap jewellery, alright?
It's just cheap jewelry. Look, it's 150 pies worth of jewelry.
we all
okay?
know Morley's negotiation tactics were not good.
Yeah.
That's a well-established fact.
Okay.
And
I assume that is the full extent of everything that is here, and
Yeah,
we never need to check it again.
you poke your head up into the attic again, and you see just like the dirt with where the sword was, and that is no longer there, which is news to you.
The
That's-
dirt is not there.
No, the what where you saw that blade or the handle of that blade, that's not there anymore, and that's news to you, right? You didn't.
I don't think that is news to me specifically. I think I saw.
Oh, did
Morley
you?
had it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I even commented on it.
Oh, okay.
But-
Cool. Okay. Okay, and you see like
Oh,
the
that's
small...
right. That's Morley must have that sword.
Perfect. You see like this little brooch and a little cap that belongs to some kid somewhere, I guess. But there's nothing else up in that attic other than that broken crate that you broke out of.
Okay, time to let somebody else do things.
Cool.
As I walk down the stairs.
Yeah. All right. So we've got Mirakin, Morley, Loris, and Baron all just chilling out in the ground floor of this
Chilling
thing.
out, holding a funeral for the child pies.
Did I say
I'm
chilling
mourning.
out? I mean
I'm
holding a
deeply
funeral for
affected
child
by
pies.
the murder of the young children. My eyes are streaming. I'm absolutely distraught thinking of all the murders these hags committed. I'm livid. I will mourn these children properly.
And my hip is sad.
I was just taking a moment. Yeah.
It's like, you're just chilling out. In other words, I'm chilling out.
So do you have the hilt of this blade like on your hip? Like, is it visible to everybody? Or yeah, okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably under my admiral's coat.
Hey, no, okay.
So you can
That's-
probably catch
that's
a glimpse
actually-
of it. You said it was.
That's interesting.
That
You've
is
gone
actually
from the rank of
important.
captain to admiral.
This
It's an admiral's coat.
it's
The
just a
coat was an
would it-
admiral.
why-
That's
why-
what's
why
now
would-
it's a captain's coat.
Why would this
Dress for the
have
job you
been-
want, all right?
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Actually, that's a really good point. So Morley, it is currently under your jacket, so it's not
Yeah.
in view of everyone. As
Oh,
you-
yeah.
as
Maybe
you-
when I
It's
turn
swash
you catch
around.
a
It stands
sneaky
up.
flash.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good thing to know. Yeah.
That's right. The prophecy. The prophecy of the blade. What of that?
Only there was no blade.
Wait, what?
Bill, did you find a blade when you were looking upstairs
Nope.
that could fit into it? It's just a hilt.
What does
Uh,
the
look
hilt
like?
Okay, at this point I take it out.
Cool.
Have you given it a shake?
taking
Morley,
it out.
to see what it does?
Of course I gave it a shake. I gave it a slash. And we gave it a wisp. And I look at it. So when I picked it up before, it was kind of in the heat of battle, but I did give it a little look, right? And on the
Yeah.
top of the hilt, it was a smooth surface.
Um,
There wasn't an indentation like this is where a blade has broken
Oh
off.
no! Like it looks like there is like an indentation for where there was once a blade. Absolutely, 100%.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Like
yeah,
a craft
Is it a
knife.
broken kind of thing, or is it like it's come off in one clean
it looks like
piece?
it looks like there's no remains of the blade there. It is just an indentation where once a blade was held. Yeah.
But it's a pretty special looking hilt, right?
And the weirdest thing happens when you hold it up and you show it, sort of hold it up and everyone takes a look at it. You just feel an insane amount of pride coming from that hilt. It's not your pride that you're feeling. You're the only one that feels this, by the way. But this hilt in your hands is very proud. It's a very proud hilt.
This, just to look upon it now, I think about the sword and the blade that was once here. And I've nothing but the greatest of respect.
When you mention the blade, because you mentioned the blade there, you get from the hilt a sense of kind of apathy. The hilt doesn't care about its missing blade.
I'm having a lot of feelings right now, and I can't explain them all here, but
Do you need a hug, Molly? What's going on
I don't
here?
need a hug. I don't need a hug. I just want to... Has anyone... actually, I'm going to take out kind of like a piece of food from my little food sack where I keep my food in a little cloth.
Cheese.
And I'm going to toss a piece of food up in the air, and I'm just going to kind of swish the blade at this piece of food. Like Tiger Woods did in that Nike commercial ages ago.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. You
Yeah.
toss it into the air, and you swipe at it as if there was a blade attached to that hilt, and the food just drops down onto the ground.
What were you expecting, Molly?
I don't know, Loris, but I've seen some funny things in this land here, and I thought maybe I was due one more.
it could very well be a magical blade. I believe the prophecy said it was a blade of light or something. It it probably is magical. Maybe we just need to examine it more.
What kind of sword do you
What's
think it
that
is?
thing?
Like a saber?
Wait, it looks like a long sword to me. This looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got the hilt of what
What
like
is
a
it you're
long-
always saying, Loris? You're always singing, "Bring the light" or something, aren't you?
Oh, this was the mace. This thing.
Yeah, some sort of whispering.
Yeah, I whisper its name, and it lights up.
Come on, little sword, show yourself. Show yourself. And Molly just starts whispering to the hilt. Come on, little sword, come out now. Come out, little sword.
You getting like more emotions from this sword now, almost like it's laughing. It's like a joy that this hilt is experiencing at this point.
Come on now, you can do it. Get out there. Show them what you got. Show them your stuff.
Let's see the shaft.
Don't stop polishing it.
Start rubbing the. Come on now, you can do it.
Well, now it's just feeling embarrassed. It's like you just yeah.
It turns red.
Just shy.
Who's licking it?
Oh. Well, don't everyone look. It won't come out if you're looking.
Shall we all turn around?
Yeah, maybe we should stop looking at it. It's feeling a bit embarrassed.
Can I have a look at your sword handle?
The
You may
hilt.
back.
Is
Can I
it?
just say, hope you're feeling some closure over this whole thing, and I toss him the hilt.
Oh, I was just going to look. Well, okay, I'll attempt to catch it. No.
Yeah, you don't have to
Strong
roll for
point is
that. That's
catching
okay.
things.
Yeah.
Does it look like there's any sort of inscription or anything sort of magical?
There's emblazoned
Nothing.
on like one side of the hilt because it's a beautiful platinum hilt and guard, and it's just got the design of like an engraved sun on the sort of the hilt.
Huh?
Yeah.
A sun?
Yeah.
Or maybe that's a hint, Morley. Maybe if we put it in the sunlight.
Well, yes, I was going to take
Not
it to a
that there
swordsmith, and I was obviously I was going to, put it in some light later. I was
But there's
gonna
not
do
much
that.
light in this country. I don't know how we'll really do that. Maybe if we got a magnifying glass or something.
I've
Just
got a
tiny-
thought. I'm feeling pretty psychic today, actually. I could perhaps use a divination spell to try and locate the blade if it is around here.
What is your? Do you have to have seen the thing that you're trying to find?
So here's the problem with it. So I'll read it to
Yeah,
you.
please.
It can describe or name an object that is familiar to you. So, or it can locate the nearest object of a particular kind. So that is open to interpretation. If I could say like the blade of a sword, but
Yeah.
then like if it's unattached specifically, like an unattached blade of a sword, because otherwise I've just got to sense everyone's
That's right. That's right.
weapons in this room.
A long blade.
A lone blade.
Yeah.
Up to you, DM.
I mean, you're welcome to give it a try.
I feel like it won't work
So
anyway.
encouraging.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like it's not gonna work. It's actually not gonna work.
I don't know what to say. Like, I don't want to get you to not do something that might be good, and I don't want to.
But it won't be.
There's a good chance that
Yeah.
something could potentially happen.
Yeah.
Well,
All right. Well, at least I'll
Do it.
I want to
Do
take.
it.
I want to take the hilt and experience holding it for myself
okay.
while I do so, and I'm going to close my eyes and think about a blade, an unattached blade.
Okay. So the first thing that happens, and it's the same thing that happened for you briefly as well, Baron, is for a moment, both of you, when you held this thing, it felt like there was some kind of emotion from what was in your hand for both times. So, Baron, you were getting sort of like this remain like there's almost this waning of this joy coming from this thing, from this hilt. And by the time you handed it over, American, you felt like a curiosity coming from this hilt.
Oh, my spirits. I feel I am communing emotionally with this blade. Has anyone else felt
I had a similar
emotions
feeling.
coming out of this object?
Yes.
Several.
Yeah. This is weird.
And you didn't say anything? This is clearly a magical artifact,
Did
and
I?
you didn't say anything. Why would you not say anything?
I said I was feeling things that I couldn't
I thought
explain.
you were feeling grief for the death of the children.
That too, but I could explain that. The sword was, well, the hilt. It was more mysterious to me in nature.
It's emoting to me. I'm communing with the hilt.
It has
Incredible.
its own feelings.
God.
It's alive.
And with you saying this, with it, it starts you again, American. You're feeling this pride coming from this hilt as well now. So you wanted to try and find a blade. Is that a spell that you cast? What is this?
It is. It is called Locate Object. It is a level 2 divination spell.
Right.
And it only has a range of 1,000 feet.
Yeah, gotcha.
So it has to be in this area.
And
it will definitely reveal something, I'm sure of it.
Well, there is a vocal component to this. So I'm assuming you're describing this thing out loud. Are you? Is that what you're doing, or is it just a word that you do while thinking about the object?
I'm gonna be like Morley, and I'm gonna whisper to it.
Okay.
Be like, "Where is your blade, my darling? Where is your blade?"
And you cast the spell, and you're feeling like you're not getting any direction. It doesn't seem to be pointing you in any direction. But not only that, but the hilt itself is just exuding this feeling of apathy, like it doesn't care.
Oh, this seems strange to say, but I don't think this hilt really cares if it's got a blade or not. And it's certainly nowhere around us.
You think it's a teenager?
Very moody, this hilt.
I felt all things all at once, American. So
Maybe it
I'll
doesn't
take it
need
back
the
now.
I think Morley wants it back now.
Okay.
I'll take it back. Perhaps there's someone we'll encounter later down the road that can shed some light on the subject.
All right. It's yours.
Can someone help me stuff these old hags into this oven?
Oh, with pleasure.
There we go.
I'll do it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Laura.
Would it not be poetic if we made pies out of them?
I will
Loris
let
is
you
already
spend the next
Sausage
day
rolls.
just making pies, if that is how you
No,
want to
we don't need to make pies, but burning corpses is I'm all up for that.
I think
The
it'll
fire
be
needs
poetic end for them.
the fire needs an extra few logs, so why not burned hags? It's all good.
Cool.
Yeah, you're definitely not doing this for fun.
No, it's necessity.
Yeah.
If one must enjoy what one must do, then one must do it, right?
Yeah.
It's fair. It's Laura's
Do it.
logic.
Yeah.
Live life.
Look on that.
Live life. Do
Why
what
not do
happens.
it?
One must
Do
do
what
it.
happens.
He's doing what happens.
I think
And what
that-
happens is head get burnt.
Yeah, I think
Do what do.
Do what do?
I think the moment you mentioned this, Baron, like Loris, like is agreeing, but he's already 2 steps up the stairs, like heading to what
Comes
he's
down
doing.
with a stack of hags.
Got him.
And one-
Honestly,
Well,
they do deserve it.
Yeah, do you want to
Yeah.
explain, Loris? Do you want to detail what you're doing here?
So the hags are upstairs, eh?
Yeah.
Or are they downstairs?
No, they're upstairs.
Yeah. So upstairs. So literally, as Baron is just kind of going, hey, it'd be a great idea if we just burn the hags. I'm upstairs, literally just one over each shoulder. I'm coming downstairs and just dumping them in front of the fire, ready to go.
I'll hold it open for you.
If you're holding it open, I'm just going to grab them and fold these things into like little squares and just push them in.
Okay.
Like, yeah. So the first one's getting folded, and then I'm going to think that maybe that was a bit difficult. So I'm just going to start peeling limbs off these things and putting them.
I imagine it's like a
Oh my gosh.
like a banana.
Yeah. So one
just
arm
come right
gets
off.
wrenched chucked in. Next time, head wrenched. That's off the second one. The
Oh,
first
like
one gets
broccoli.
folded into a square and just chucked into the
Like,
fire.
Like carving a turkey with your bare hands.
yeah, Morley.
I'm gonna watch Morbidly Curious.
I was going to say, Morley, American, Bill, even Baron, are you just watching the barbarian?
It was the Baron's
Arrow group?
idea.
Yeah, literally
To a point.
dismembering and pushing into the fireplace. The smoke coming up and out of the oven at this point is just black smoke, and it's just acrid. It is like it smells like death. It's kind of burning your eyes a little bit.
If they're all just watching, I'm
It's
going to
too
turn around and say,
fucking good of an
"Can you
end
get
for
the
them."
old one as well?"
Wait, sorry, Bill, what was that?
It's too fucking good of an end for them. They deserve everything they
I
get.
agree. But I also want to say, while he's doing that, am I able to do a perception check to see if I can see the fact that he's taken 5 whole pies? Because I think that's quite a lot of pies to be held on a person without someone noticing.
Depends where he puts them.
I guess the question is, are you specifically looking for that?
I'm watching him burn the bodies, so I am specifically watching him.
Give
yes.
me a perception check then.
I kind of hope that I don't notice.
Well, he's got.
I
This is
don't
like-
want to know.
He's got one on each ear. Like
What a
Princess
relief,
Leia.
I've-
Wait,
Really
that's
badly.
not the end of the roll. Dave,
Oh.
I need to just get a D20. I will give it a stealth. No, sleight of hand. Give me a sleight of hand check to see how
Sleight of hand
well
check.
you
Oh.
kind of tuck them away.
All right.
And we're
Speak
gonna.
of
Just
Alright.
so people know,
Sleight
I
of
rolled
hand.
a 6 plus 4, so
Yeah.
only a 10.
So I rolled a 17 plus 1.
It's 18. Okay, so yeah, no, you don't notice. You don't notice. He's tucked them away.
I'm so
in a fashion-
relieved.
He's tucked them
The
away.
head on
I'd hate
his
to-
dad bod.
Yeah.
Yeah,
around the
there's
outside.
plenty of room to hide pies on my dad bod, all right?
Barely made the
Plenty of
dent.
room.
Drama avoided.
I think while all of the smoke is going up, Ismark kind of looks into the door, sees the absolute carnage that is happening in there. Like he's seeing like arms and legs being torn off these bodies and thrown in, and everyone's basically going, "Kill the hags, yay, burn him!" And Ismark just kind of raises his eyebrows and just backs out, and you can hear him sort of, "Oh, I think they're going to need another minute or two." To Irina.
It's a lot more somber than that.
Yeah, it's done,
You always like
it's done with
interject
respect.
evil emotions onto
yeah.
the players.
It's totally done with respect, okay? Like there's,
Oh, right,
there's
okay,
no
okay.
gleeful
The
joy. in
NPCs are always somber, and we're always like, yeah.
Yeah, like Mirigan's
Two-year-old.
dancing a jig in the corner. She just loves seeing limbs being pulled off.
From chilling to doing a jig.
Yeah.
done. Feel Loris has his back.
All right. Okay. I will respect. Okay. You're right. I haven't respected.
So my back is turned to everyone, so
somberness.
no one can actually see the light smile on my face. So as far as they're concerned, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
As far,
We're, like,
no, as far as
thinking-
everyone's concerned, I'm doing this seriously. Okay, so like I'm
Yeah.
not dancing around like an absolute troll. here.
Yeah.
I have a huge smile on my face because I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
Yeah.
but it looks like I'm doing it seriously.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's a decent. This is going to take a while. This is like half an hour of literally slowly feeding these things in, and just the thoughts going through all of your heads about how many kids have suffered this fate. How many the 2 that you've saved, but how many now will be saved because of it? How many kids have left Barovia or have gone missing that have been fed back to the people of Barovia, maybe even their own
this is
parents, and all of these emotions going through your head while you're just torching and ending this cycle. Morley.
I'd like to approach Ismark actually, and I'd like to just very sternly approach him and say, Did you know what was going on?"
So I think you've excused yourself from the room and you've met up with Ismark outside. And Ismark just says, I had no idea. There's no way I would have allowed that kind of stuff to go on if I had known.
"Where did you think these pies were coming from, Ismark?"
A pie maker? Why would I assume that pies would have kids in them? Why would... Did you think pies have kids when you eat a pie?
A couple of days. No, but we've been here, a couple of days, and we've seen children being taken from their homes in exchange for pies. It seems odd to me the burgomaster of the town had no idea that something was afoot.
There is a chance that my father knew. You're right. I don't know what my father did or didn't know. All I can say is I did not know. I had no idea this kind of thing was going on. I would have been in a bigger hurry to get here and end the lives of those women if I had known.
Can I see if he's lying?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Get him, Morley.
Go, Morley, the truth seeker.
I don't think I'll be seeking much truth with a 5.
With a roll of a 5, you're taking his word for it. You don't have any reason to suspect he's not telling the truth. Yeah.
I take it your word is Mark, but it's disgusting to think what was going on all this time. I'm sorry to have accused you, but I want to get to the bottom of this.
And Ismark is kind of lost in thought. He says, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do with these children. Do I take them back to the parents, the ones that gave them over for just so they could get their fix? I don't even know if the kids would want to go back.
You have some sort of agency or something in Barovia that might take these children into their care.
We could take them back to Barovia. We could take them to Vallaki. Hopefully give them a new life. I mean, you've seen Barovia.
Is Vallaki any better?
Yeah, from what I've heard, Vallaki is a lot safer. That's why. I mean, that's why we're taking Irina there, right?
But I want you to make me a promise, Mark. When we've fulfilled our contracts, I want you to take my share of the payment and I want you to put it towards these children. Safe place to stay and an education and all the food and warmth and that sort of thing that they need.
You have my word, Molly. Absolutely.
Leave it at that.
There's 2 gold pieces in the jacket. But if I overheard that, I would have been moved.
Yeah.
That's exactly the sort of thing.
It was a moving speech for 2 gold pieces.
Yeah, I don't know if you've got inspiration, Morley, but if you don't, then just give yourself a point of inspiration, please.
Touching.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah. And this whole thing with them being addicted, that was my problem with the Burgomaster to begin with, not caring that people were being horribly addicted by these pies, just thinking it was funny. So
says the man who went back for seconds.
I didn't know it did anything at that point.
That is true.
No. You
and I was drunk.
Oh, there's a man. He blames the booze.
And he also didn't trade a child for the pie,
I mean,
so
that's fair.
no problems there.
Yeah,
and I'm not
true.
in charge of the town.
That's true. Yep. Hey, I'm on your
But
side.
you are in charge of this windmill
You're
now.
in charge of the windmill.
That's a good
Let's
point.
burn it.
You do own the windmill.
I'm going to write on the front door, property of Baron Byram, no entry.
Okay. That should keep witches and stuff out. No problem.
Well, it looks like a good fixer-upper. Are we gonna stay here outside overnight, or are we going straight to Vallaki?
We need to get these children away from this place.
I don't
Well,
think we need to stay here.
I think the place is safe with us for now.
Wow. Their minds and their memory are not.
Mm-hmm.
I just want a bath, honestly. Let's go.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, if you guys are ready to head out, we can definitely get on the road to Vallaki.
Did we put Morgantha's body into the fire?
Yeah, in that half hour, you destroyed all
Just making
bodies.
sure.
Yeah,
That's right. Just making sure.
Yeah.
I want to make sure.
Every
I do a
last
thorough job.
morsel.
Yeah.
I can't be seen doing a half-assed job. I've got to complete.
Loris pulls out a leg.
Yeah.
I'm not eating hag. That shit, no. have standard.
Okay, cool. All right. So are we heading on the road to Vallaki?
Let's do it. Let's get these kids to safety and Arena, of course.
Yeah.
It
okay.
occurs to me that the priest mentioned a monastery. I wonder if they would surely know how to look after these children or a suitable place for them.
Really?
A religious institution caring for children? How ludicrous!
Well, depends which religion. But
Generally, they are there to do good for the people. I don't think it's
You'd hope
crazy and out of left field to say so.
Really?
But okay, all right.
you know,
So
those
that's a
funny
no
colours.
from Loris.
Ismark, what do you know of this monastery? I know you don't know a lot about it, but is it like a boys only kind of dealy? Is it?
I know it by name
Go
only.
ahead.
Literally, the only thing I know about it is by name. The fact that Father Donovich believes it to be safe, sure. I can only take his word.
He did believe keeping his son, who was a vampire spawn, under his church as safe as well, though.
Yeah,
don't think he
his
thought it was
judgment is
His
certainly
judgment
in
is-
question.
I don't think he thought
Um,
everyone should have one. I don't think he was like, this is what you got to do.
Yeah, he wasn't like, I've made a great
No.
life decision and I'm loving this.
He wasn't advertising but he thought his decision was sound, which it clearly wasn't.
I'm just going to close my eyes.
He knew it wasn't sound. He was doing it out of love for his son. He knew it was the wrong thing.
Desperation.
Anyway, the monastery is past Vallaki if Father Donovich is correct, so we may as well go straight to Vallaki and learn more about it.
Yeah, it is getting late into the day. It seems like it's like maybe an hour or two away from sunset at this point. So the sun is quite what you can see of where the light is coming from. The sun must be quite low in the sky at this point. Strangely, that means you may have lost quite a bit of time while unconscious before the whole frog escape. So you've kind of lost a few hours there. And it's looking to be, definitely like the day is starting to wrap up. So let's put you onto the map area.
Question, DM.
Yep.
When Strahd confronted us,
Mm-hmm.
that was daytime, right?
That was daytime.
Okay. Good to know.
Okay, cool. It was about midday, basically, when you confronted Strahd on the road. So you guys have had a
Right.
lot in your day so far.
Yes, to put it mildly.
I'm shattered.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing to sort of understand, like the fatigue in your bodies right now, the fight against Strahd, the journey, half a day's journey across this town, like this land to get to this windmill, multiple fights with these women, a body changing experience as you all became frogs, and then now having burnt these bodies, just the absolute mental fatigue you've had of processing the contents of these pies and everything that is, basically. What I am going to let you know, as you all get into the carriage... Loris, whereabouts are you going to get into in this carriage?
Oh, crap. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to jump into the back because I'm feeling fairly wrecked and physically, like, I'm cut and bruised all over the place. Like, I'm so close to falling over dead. It's not funny. So I'm literally just going to, like, feeling quite proud, but actually quite tired and just realizing how knackered I am. I'm just going to crawl into the back of the carriage and just kind of...
Yeah. You get into the back and you see Irina on one of the seats, up against one of the sides with a kid under each arm. She's just holding on to these two kids. She's looking after these kids. How about the rest of you? Where are the rest of you going to be sitting? It's going to be quite a tight fit in this carriage.
So good luck finding room with me sprawled out on the back end of the carriage.
See, man spreading.
Yeah, totally. Man spreading
Barb
all
spreading.
over the
It's
place.
way
Barb-
worse.
Yeah. Goliath bath.
Well, I guess I'll
bath
go on
spread.
the front.
It can take 3 out front, eh?
It
Obviously
can take
man spread, and then-
3 up front. There's going to be 2
Yeah.
kids, Ismark, Irina, Loris in the back at this point. You could probably fit another 1 in the back and 3 up the front.
I'll go up the front.
Okay.
I'm gonna just approach Irina and say, I did pretty well in there. I just want you to know that. And then I'm gonna make my way to the front.
Wow.
Give me a charisma roll, just a standard charisma.
Good.
Wow. I'm trying to impress. I'm trying to hit on Ismark's sister, man. Come on.
Sorry, I'm locking up here.
That's right.
Under the pressure.
What's that? 12 plus
14.
2? Nice.
14.
Nice. Irina looks up and she looks quite upset, and she looks up at you and she hears what you've said, and she just gives you just like a small smile. Before just sort of focusing back on these kids. You're like, yeah. That one landed.
Yeah. I just moved to the front.
Like a pie in the face.
Okay. So is it Baron or Bill?
14, no
What?
20.
I don't know. Is it going to be Baron or Bill that's going to jump in the back?
I'm going on the front.
You're at the front. Okay.
I'll jump in the back.
Okay, Bill. Bill, you notice the smell of pies coming off Loris. You now being
Over the rest of us think.
Come on, man. Nothing smells better than my stench.
Literally
long and
everything
hard.
smells better. These I mean, it's cooked baked goods, right? These pastries, they've just been recently brought out of the oven, and they're filling up the back of this carriage with the aroma of pie. It's something you are noticing, and the carriage starts off down the road.
I cast a spell.
You cast.
It's called message.
Okay.
And I reach into Loris's mind and I say, why do you smell like pies?
Can I respond? Do I respond?
Just
Like,
yeah.
You can respond.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's like one message each.
So literally, Loris's response, because it's kind of semi-comatose. It's like pie, and that's it.
Dude,
That's it.
you smell like pies. What the fuck?
And Loris.
And Loris is just gonna go to sleep, like Homer.
Yeah. Okay. Bill rouses him by grabbing him.
Oh, what?
And Ismark is very much paying attention here. And he's kind of smelling himself at first because there was a lot of smoke in that bottom floor. But he notices that smell's definitely coming from Loris.
I give Loris a look like, dude, what the fuck? But without saying anything. And then I say, I'm not going to ask again. Why?
Why?
What I
why
just
pie?
asked you. Why?
Why do I smell like pie?
Yes.
So Loris just reaches into his bag and pulls out the 5 pies, or one of the pies that he had, because I took a couple.
Get rid of them.
And Ismark is like putting his hand over one of the kids' eyes, and Irina is doing the same. And they're just trying to turn these kids away. And Ismark is just like, get rid of them.
Okay. So Loris just basically grabs the 2 that he's pulled out of his hands and tosses them out of the back of the carriage. Just.
Give me a deception check. Just a standard deception roll. Bill, give me a perception check. And Ismark's going to do the same.
Deception roll of 17.
Perception 13. 9 plus 4.
Okay. So let's bring up Ismark's sheet. What has he got? Alright, he has rolled a total of 18. So what did you roll? A deception of 17.
Yeah, rolled a 17.
Ismark can clearly see at least one more pie on you. And Ismark looks over to Bill, and he just starts unsheathing his sword.
Oh, dude, Ismark, that's not fair. Do I see that?
I'll go to
you
stay his hand.
You were seeing this, yeah.
Okay.
I'll go to stay
So
his
it's
hand
saying-
and say, Not cool, Loris.
So seeing him pull his sword out, I grab grab one of the other pies, just kind of, oh shit! I look down and see one that's kind of sticking out. Grab the other one, and go, oh crap, and just toss it out without even really sort of looking. Just toss that completely out, and sort of start doing the.
So you've thrown out 3, yeah?
That's 3, yeah, thrown out 3. So I start doing the kind of. I'm sure that's all of them. Trying to look as innocent as Goliathly possible.
Yeah.
Find one more, and chuck that out. So that's 4, and I go, and I'm gonna look back. I'm pretty sure that's all I took.
And Ismark just looks at you and says, Loris, I need you to be very, very honest with me right now. How many did you take?
Well, I was kind of in a hurry. I grabbed...
How many did you take?
I wasn't counting!
And
I've thrown 4 out.
And
I wasn't really counting. Hang on.
He fights against Bill's hand and withdraws his short sword. And he puts the blade up against your face and asks once more, how many did you take?
Hang on, let me have a look at my bag and I'll see what's left. So I'm just going to rummage through my bag, rummage around, grab a piece of, find it broken, because obviously it's in the bottom of my bag, so that being broken a bit. Pull out what's left of what's kind of looks like a mushed up bit of pie. Oh, this is what's left. It's kind of crumbly, and just turf that as well. That's all I've got, and I'm going to show my bag, show my pouch, whatever satchels. Yeah.
And he places his sword back into the... sheathes his sword, basically. Sheathes his sword. And he looks at you and just says, Loris, what were you thinking? What are you...
I grabbed them because I thought they could have been of use. They could have been worth something at some point.
Pies made of children could be worth something to someone at some point for you.
Well, clearly the hags had some use for them.
Evil hags had some use for them, yes, to control the people of Barovia. Yes, you're right. Bill, what do we do here?
Can we talk about this later when the kids are not around?
Yeah. Ismark kind of just rolls his eyes at that. And it's just silent. There's silence in this carriage for a wee while. So the journey to Vallaki is about 3 hours from the windmill. It's going to be about 3 hours. I think in general it's going to be pretty quiet. An hour passes with no words coming from Irina, Ismark, or the children. And the path leads down this hill into this valley, and there's just a big forested area all around, sort of picks up around this trail. Every now and then you get like a little glimpse off to the right of a lake sort of past the trees. And when you see that lake, you also get a quick glimpse at this mountain range on the opposite side of this lake as well. And this mountain is also just covered in trees and just climbs up to these, way off into the distance, this chilly mountain, icy mountain range at the top. What we'll do here is we will take a quick 5-minute break.
Very good.
Oof.
Way to make it awkward, man.
That was intense.
That was intense.
Yeah.
That was super intense. Adam, can you just tap your microphone? I'm worried that the different mic. Yeah, it's not that microphone that's on. That's okay. That's okay. We'll get it fixed now when we're the last half.
That happened to me the other time.
Yeah. People, we got some good. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, we got some. People thought that was nice and intense, which was good. Let's go through.
We're in a carriage, actually.
Ah, I like that.
Got him.
And we totally ignored Stancor as well. Aw.
He's just like trailing behind the carriage.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, wait for me, guys.
You can't get close to Stancor. I think that's not his catchphrase. You got to stay away from.
You got to
Stancor.
stay away from Stancor. Yeah.
I like that better. You can't get close to him, like
Oh my gosh,
emotionally
it's kind
or
of the
emotionally or
same.
physically.
I
You
reckon
can't get
Stancor.
close to me. Oh,
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine that. Yeah, it would play out quite tragically over the course of the series, because he's
Yeah.
like, "My heart stinks too."
Every 12 seconds you're paralyzed and you're like, oh, yep. Nah, this again.
Yeah. Plus, he's full of toxic masculinity as well. It's just, it's horrible.
Yeah, he's a real nice guy.
He's a real nice guy.
Why won't ladies date me?
Yeah. We got some good
Keep on
chat.
paralyzing them, Stancor.
I'm just trying to reach out, like literally. What do you guys? I'm almost scared to ask what people thought. I'll ask the chat what they thought of the carriage. Desmaris said Reagan scared me. I think that's fair.
It's good. That was some good, intense roleplay.
Yeah,
That was good acting.
it was good. Jackalope said,
like
"Yeah,
Bill's
that scared
reaction.
me." Random said Reagan yelled and put a sad face. Kalan said Bill was serious as fuck, and Reagan was aggressive as Ismark, and Loris was trying hard to play it off. Extremely well done, says Desmarius. Perfect. Thank you. It was intense. It was intense for me as well. I'm sure it was intense for all of the players, because that
I'm
was a
just
very
glad
intense moment.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
So I'm like sick of being like, I don't want to always be the one that's like, "Ah."
Yeah, I probably very much peaked the microphone yelling as well. But that's okay.
That's what we were all worried about.
It's the
Yeah.
audio quality.
That-
Yeah.
That was my first concern, that it was all the picking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Totally what I was thinking.
Oh man, that was cool. But yeah, we've got a couple of extra follows as well. So thanks to L. Cornelson and Sir Nighternoff and Bestie and Stormstrike. I mentioned Stormstrike. Guyver and Mr. Wolfsnake. Stormstrike.
Isn't that?
It is someone that you know, but that's not. I don't know. It's someone else. I think maybe they like the name. Who knows?
Stormstriker.
And also,
It's a cool name. I'll 2 thumbs up.
Also, Kalan Darklaw gifted another sub to someone as well. Desmarius got a nice sub from that. So thank you, Kalan. Your support tonight has been amazing. So thank you so much. Same with Random, who gave us those 1,000 bits to get Needle to arrive as well. And I figured out
Wait a minute.
I figured out why you saw this roll this time. I clicked the wrong thing. But that's all right. It still rolled the right thing, but I've got another button
Right.
set up that whispers it to myself. But yeah. Bill.
I was just going to ask where Kalan is from, because I've seen his name a few times, but I haven't actually interacted.
Yeah.
Kalan, whereabouts are you from?
Where are you from?
I know you play Monster Hunter.
Yes, he streams Monster Hunter quite a bit as well. So I've been known to venture in there and watch as well. And I know you're a
I was
Monster
gonna
Hunter
ask.
guy, John.
If Kalan is a Monster Hunter guy, does he realize that the subscriber dance is taken from Monster Hunter?
It is this. Yeah, that's taken from Monster Hunter.
Reagan always dances when he wins, and I'm always like, that's a groovy dance. I'm taking that.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. He said he did.
But also,
he
where
said
are
he
you
did
from?
know it. He's from Idaho.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So definitely check him out. If you like Monster Hunter, check him out. He streams a bunch of other things as well.
Literally the only thing
He doesn't normally have the camera on himself. It's normally on his cat. So if also you just want to watch cats while someone plays
I do.
video games and stuff.
Oh, see, that's just a winning
Exactly. So
stream
it's a
combination.
Brilliant formula. Yeah.
I was just going to say, literally the only thing I know about Idaho is that one episode of The Simpsons where Ralph is dressed with like a metal... Oh, no, wait. He just has a T-shirt on that
mattress.
says Idaho
It's like a
or something.
Isn't
And he's
it,
like, I'm Idaho.
isn't it like a ripped foam mattress with a piece of paper that's taped on it? That just says Idaho?
Yes.
my Idaho fact is something potatoes, right? Potatoes?
Really? I got no idea.
Back me up, Kalan. Potatoes?
Hey, Kalan, how are the potatoes? Do you get them big? He said taters, yeah.
Do you get them big taties?
Lisa was Florida, Jackalope, and Florida was a welded sheet of metal on both sides with an orange tape to it. I do know that much.
But yeah, speaking of support, if you guys liking what you see, do give us a follow, because we're getting closer and closer to 600. We're halfway to 600. When I say halfway, I mean we were at 500 and now we're at 550. We're halfway between 500 and 600. Not at 300, which would be halfway to 600. So we're not halfway to 600. We're halfway from. We're almost at 600. 550. We're at 550.
That is the worst way to explain being close to 600.
Yeah, did you see me introduce the intro today? So I'm not firing on all cylinders when it comes to this.
Unless, yeah. Unless you're telling me off, which I thought was, you were firing on every cylinder.
That was good. That was
Yeah.
good. I like roleplay.
Wow.
Roleplay's good. I like improv and that kind of thing when it comes to someone else.
felt like it.
When I have to improv me, I'm much worse at that. I'm way worse at improving myself.
I felt like a scolded child. I was seriously like, oh man, I'm in some steep stuck right here.
Well,
I
you
have a
still
question.
might be.
Yeah, I'm like, I see Loris and this mug, man. I was planning on setting up a new bromance, but now that he's told me off, I'm like, okay, fine, fuck you too.
Well, don't
The
just
bromance
don't
is dead.
don't Dave out. Don't just hate an
Gonna sulk.
NPC because
I'm gonna sulk.
Well-
because you got to think
gonna
he
sulk now.
only did that because you did something stupid as Loris. So
Yeah, but he's angry at me now. It's
With
like
multiple
well,
chances. As
yeah,
well.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you
you
lied
chose
to
to
him
lie
multiple
to your
times.
you chose to lie to your comrades multiple
Yeah.
times in a row. That's not going to go down well with
Yeah.
them.
Or,
So you can't have a
one more
bromance.
pie.
You can't have a
I kind of wanted
bromance
to
with
keep
someone
one of the pies
and lie to
'cause,
them.
you know, I could have.
You could have. You
could've what?
You could have tried to
I
explain
had
that.
plans.
I could have eaten some children, trying to see it from my side.
Well, it could have come in handy, but you could just explain it.
Yeah, you could have tried to explain.
But anyway.
what you wanted to do.
I didn't really know I don't really know what I want to do with them.
Exactly.
I just know. I just know that I thought that they could have come in handy.
But
It'd
yeah.
be like going to a movie theater with 5 Big Macs and you go, what?
What?
You can't smell it. Five freshly baked fries.
Is it bad that I've done? Is it bad that I've come close to doing that?
Look, I'm not surprised.
I know.
Yes.
I've been with people who've done that.
Would it surprise you that I've walked into a movie theater with multiple Big Macs?
Dave, Kalan has
Sorry.
asked
It
if
has
you
been-
just discard
it has been
one.
done.
It's all gone.
Kalan has asked are Goliaths cannibalistic? Basically,
No,
no.
but then eating humans isn't cannibalism.
There'd be
Cannibalism is eating your own kind.
I guess.
so they
yeah.
would eat humans.
So you'd say they'd eat humans.
That's not in the script that I've read. That they eat meat.
Yeah.
I eat meat, but I don't eat like
Sentient.
bipedal.
yeah.
Do you eat chickens?
Distinction.
Yeah,
They're bipedal.
Yeah, shit.
Don't
He's got you there.
human
He's got you
children.
there.
The key words here are human children.
I don't eat gorillas.
Human children. Walking, talking, thinking human
Yeah,
children. Not
chimps.
same
I
as
eat
chicken.
chimp.
Yeah.
I'd never eat a chimp.
That needs to be a shirt. That needs to be a shirt. I've never eaten a chimp.
Well, the problem, a big reason why they are going extinct is because they are eaten.
Oh, really?
Not by me. Don't fucking look at me.
Wow.
I just said
do
it.
it.
I think we've just figured it out.
I think he protests too much.
Maybe that's what Wally is cargoing across the oceans.
The only person who has a smuggling
Carting.
subplot in their mind is you. He's
I
never
didn't say
smuggled
smuggling.
anything.
I said carting. Like he's that's his
Illegally-
cargo.
I do like
Yep.
now that you're confusing Adam with Morley now, though. Like,
Totally, absolutely.
Wait, he's got the coat.
A fucking blender.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna get-
chimp eating
it's
coat.
going to get
my
very
God.
confusing when he has the hat as well.
Here we are.
Oh,
Speaking up.
It's going to do that thing. You're going to take the hat off, and Dave's going to go, Adam, where you been? We've just been
Some
sitting here
bloke
with
what looked
Morley
just
the whole
like you has
time.
been.
What I'm really hopeful of, and I don't know if this is how it's going to play out, but I'm really hopeful that Loris took those before he realized that they were children.
Oh, I can't. DM, you'll have to clarify as to when I knew. I know I knew, but I can't
You
remember.
guys, yeah, I mean,
I think Loris even knows that Morley's hat came from AliExpress, so I don't know why you wouldn't know.
Yeah,
That's what you were telling us before.
Okay.
It says pirate hat.
okay,
It's pirate hat.
if Loris, okay, so we've had this conversation about Loris's intelligence before, right? And Dave has mentioned numerous
He's average
times
intelligence.
he's average intelligence.
It's not stupid.
And I would say
he's not
it's
stupid.
been pretty obvious that those kids have been in those pies. For someone
Can
with
I
an average
also say-
intelligence.
Not a bone.
Can
I
I
think
say?
Loris would have known that they were potentially kid pies.
Yeah.
No. Can I say my character did walk into the room where Loris was and say, "These pies made of children. We need to burn them," because she saw him burning
he'd already
us,
taken
and
them
she.
at that point though. But yes. Yeah.
Yep, but
Yeah.
I could
he
have
knows
just-
is the point
just- I
because
could-
Yeah.
I basically held a funeral for the children
Yeah, yeah.
pies as we burn them, so he knows. Like, there's no
Yeah.
way he doesn't know.
Yeah.
I'm not claiming that Loris doesn't know that they were or are kids' pies. I'm just obviously it's
Not kids'
important.
pies.
The kid size, right?
Fine if they just
They're just
pies
being
made
or-
of children.
They just took
Maybe that's
children
what he thought.
to make sure they could
And
perfect
gave-
pies
yeah,
for
they were
kids.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
were just the
That's-
tester group.
So I knew that's
Georgie
why I
pie.
understand. I completely misunderstood what they were.
That's what all
Loris
those
thought they were
crumbs
kid-sized pies. Yeah.
Crumbs
Those
and
little
stuff.
Christmas mince pies.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's fair to say Loris knew they were pies made of children, or at least strongly suspected. But that doesn't stop me thinking that they could have been useful, given to
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
high Baron got. Like,
I am currently, me as a
You
DM.
don't know that I got high on a pie, by the way. Nobody
That's-
knows.
that's
I
true,
saw, I
that's
saw
true.
you high on a pie. Remember?
No, but you don't know
You
it was the
don't.
pie
You
that
didn't
did
know.
it.
You knew I was high, but you didn't know I ate a pie.
Yeah. The only person that knows that Baron has eaten 2 pies is him. That's the
I
only-
didn't even think it was going to do that to me
Yeah, exactly.
because
exactly.
the first one didn't.
But the Baron did know that they were addictive. That was about all he knew. That
Yes.
there's some sort of
Right.
addictive thing to it.
But not to me. They weren't addicted
Yeah,
to me
yeah.
for some
Yeah.
reason.
yeah. Well, you went on a bit
Oh,
of a
of
trip.
course not. Never.
What? I could give them up in his
It's not my problem.
Sounds like an addict.
Yeah.
Total addict.
I
Actually,
threw them into the oven.
someone just mentioned, actually, Notches in the chat said maybe Loris just relapsed to his time eating goblin face from it was like the big burger.
Or vampire face.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Eat a goblin.
Yeah, it was a
Except
bugbear.
the
It
pies.
was a bugbear. It was a bugbear.
Yeah.
He was, high on Nothic eye drugs juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Burger head.
Yeah, that's
The one time that Loris got wasted off stuff that
Yeah. So, me as a DM, I really don't know how to resolve or what is going to happen with that. I got no idea.
we'll hug it out. It'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll see how fine it gets. We will get back onto the map. Let's have a quick look here.
Is Irina getting a little bit of a kind eye for Morley?
Seriously?
Adam, we'll.
Oh yeah. This guy over here fucking stealing pies and lying about it. Me trying to hound someone. Oh, that's just I never would.
Come on.
Morley, how about
in front of her brother and all. I mean, really?
how about?
Oh yeah, that's the worst thing anyone's done in front of Ismark. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. No one's lied to his
I'm all
face or
for it.
anything.
I liked it when you called his daughter. First time. Oh, your lovely daughter.
How about when everyone logs off, Adam? It's just you and me, and we can roleplay whatever you want, my man. We can-
Just
that's
journey
extra.
to leave.
I'll put on the Irina face and just whatever. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get the Cocoa Pops
okay.
out.
That can, you can. That's when you start the OnlyFans.
yeah. Subscriber only chat as well at that point. Yeah. Okay. You guys are on the road. It has been
Unsubscribe.
eerily quiet from the back of the carriage. The 3 up front. I don't know what you guys have been doing for the last hour, but it has been. You heard some yelling, and it has been awkwardly quiet for a wee while. I don't know if that was something you wanted to. Has the Sirenscape going?
Don't make me turn this card around.
I want to know if any of us would have noticed pies being flung out the side of the carriage.
Out the back. Not side back. Just
At the back, left side.
over the children. They'll be directly.
well, no, they're at the front. They're going out the back. There's no
Throwing
one
them at the kids' faces. Fuck children. You're only humans.
I'd eat a human.
Well, it depends on which side. It depends on which side Loris is on, right?
Yeah.
I'm sitting at the back.
I can hear the sound of nature.
Yeah, there's it's the sun has set and sorry, the sun has set. It's set. The sun is set. Some sounds out of these forests from these. Man, my words right now are not good. Let's start that one again. So the sun is set, and you can hear the cicadas and insects and any wildlife sort of coming up out of the woods on either side of you. Bill.
I was just going to ask, like, what's the difference in light between it being daytime and nighttime? Like, is it it's noticeable to us that it's changed to night?
Oh,
or is
yeah. Like now there's no light. Before there was
so it's it's like an overcast day to a nighttime.
That's correct. Yeah, you saw hints of the clouds sort of reddening in the sky off to the west, and then it just sort of really quickly went from just this overcast darkness dropping down to almost complete darkness. So Morley and American on the front of this carriage with their night vision can see ahead pretty well. And I think, Baron, at this point, you're sort of sitting there in darkness getting jostled around by the carriage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Bill and Loris, I think at this point, is Loris just fast asleep now?
Yeah.
Okay,
Loris
good.
has just been like, his best was basically everyone's grumpy at him, so he's literally gone from lying on his back to lying aside facing out the back of the carriage, so he's turned his back to everyone just to go to sleep.
How are you sitting on I don't know how, like, it's a bar.
I'm kind of lying across the back. I'm just kind of like propped up with one head on the side of it and my feet hit to the other end and just kind of rolled over.
You can't take up that entire seat because Bill is sitting there as well.
No, I want to lie across the back. So, like, back of the carriage, I want to lie across it, not lengthwise, like across the back.
I can't picture this. So you're not on the
Fine.
seats. You're on top of the carriage.
Not on the floor.
You're on the ground. You just
on the floor.
you just get off the chair and just flump down onto the ground in
God.
between Ismark and Bill.
Sure, I'll put my head on Osmark's knee if that would feel.
Oh my God! Right.
I don't
okay.
think he'll be amenable to that.
Right. Let's just say Loris is asleep somewhere in the
Loris
carriage.
is asleep.
Doesn't matter
Yeah,
where.
put me anywhere. I don't
Mumbling
care
about shafts.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What's happening on the front? Any conversations happening on the front there?
And we threw them overboard. Just telling stories.
Yeah.
And Americans trying to pretend to have some kind of token interest in the story. But she's just like, every so often, she'll just like think about the children and just start like weeping a little bit to herself. She's just like absolutely distraught at the idea of all these children being murdered.
And I imagine I'm stuck between these two, holding a book, trying to look like I'm reading, but having to read the same paragraph over and over.
And it's also, you've cast light on like a small stick or something that's hanging off over the book, so you can read from your book. Cool. I think another half hour passes, and you can just hear wolves howling, sort of like occasionally coming from either side of you. Wait a second, so is it gonna? Where are we? Oh, there's a real gentle wolf.
Oh, I could hear one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did anyone hear that?
Some kind of wolf?
Have you ever seen a wolf before?
I've never seen a wolf before.
Oh, I've never seen a wolf.
Really?
Yes, you have. We've killed some.
What?
When did we kill wolves?
I believe it was one of the first days we met.
Yeah. Of like.
It was a very tragic incident for me, I'll have you
Those
know.
wolves in that cave.
Right
I
before
just
you
thought of
logged
them as
out.
dogs.
I had you pegged as an animal lover.
Yes, that's why I say I was very upset at the time.
Yep, that's right. They were owned by goblins, so they were not nice. They were not.
Oh, there it is
They
again.
were going to murder us.
Yeah.
You might need to hurry up.
What I might get actually from both American and Morley is just a perception roll.
Okay.
Oh, net 20, bitch! Whoa!
I rolled a 14
the
plus
shit
6
out
to
of
get
it.
20.
Okay, so you
Oh
both,
man, our eyes are all over this.
you,
And ears.
you guys, I think it's because you've heard a couple of these howlings like coming out of the woods, and you start eyeing up the trees on either side of this path, and both of you just sort of you see little pairs of glints of light, little eyes peering out at you from either side of this trail, as the horse and carriage just continues on the path past what is most definitely some wolves within the woods.
Well, I hope you got fucking good at killing wolves, because you might need to be doing that again.
Again, the Baron, you didn't see anything, so that might be an interesting thing to hear.
Is that because I'm stuck in the middle?
Well, you don't have night vision, right? You don't have dark vision.
That's
It
true.
is pitch black right now.
You say there's wolves there?
It's wolvish eyes in them there bushes. And he's just
Definitely.
kind of pointing, like, because Morley can see them really well, and he's just pointing, there and there and there. Let's see that, Baron.
No. But maybe.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
but
there.
squint.
Do you think we're being hunted?
Most likely. They may attack the horses. We have to be on guard.
Is there anything that scares wolves?
Fire.
Fire.
If only we had that fire combo that we wasted on that swamp beast.
Like set fire to the top
Fire
of
on
the
a stick.
cart. Fire on a stick. Oh,
Don't
can anyone...
set fire to the top of the cart, and we not learned our lesson.
No, I'm going to hold up my
Think
cigarette.
I think
Anything
we'll
to... Can we
be
light
bigger
something?
than that, Baron.
That's where I come in. I can expand that flame if you throw it in their direction. It might do enough to scare them off.
Okay. I'll just give a good drag so I'm not wasting too much of it. And then I'll flick it towards
Yeah.
the general direction. I can't see anything.
You just
And as you
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. You just
And as
flicking
you
that
do
up.
so, as soon as it gets far enough away from the cart towards the wolves, I'm going to try and expand it.
I'm just glad it had been raining recently because you're just like wanting to basically set fire to the woods, right?
I want to scare the horses.
Oh, you
I
wanna-
mean, not the horses. The wolves.
The wolves.
Put the
And
cigarette.
don't forget, I have the ability to extinguish flames as well. I took care of that shaft, didn't I?
You sure did.
Hey,
Yeah, exactly right. It's one of my character's abilities.
And I was just imagining the fire will go woof in the air and then it's out.
yeah. So you flick the cigarette out towards where Morley pointed out a couple of wolves, and American, you see it topple towards end over end towards these eyes in the woods, and you send your spell out to. Is it a spell or is it a cantrip?
It's a cantrip.
Use
yeah.
your cantrip, and it just expands into this big fireball, and you hear in return like one of these wolves just yelp and just take off into the woods, and then you can hear from the other side of the track, as it's now behind you, as you have you've moved on past them, you hear some growling from these wolves behind. Can I get
A witness.
Can I get a witness? Can I get a roll of initiative from everybody, please?
You know what? It's hard to buy cigarettes in Barovia. I haven't found a proper store, so
Yeah,
Does
that
that
was
include
very.
myself, Reagan, given I'm asleep?
Yeah, we'll get a roll of initiative anyway.
Okay.
Oh,
I
sorry.
have to click
that's
my
the
We
party.
can't click on the tokens because
Yeah,
the
so
tokens down there.
just roll and
I fucked it up.
I don't know how I'm going to add you all in.
I'll
actually.
roll a real dice then.
Rolled a 16 plus 3 for 19.
I rolled a 6 plus 1, so 7.
I have to add everyone.
I rolled very
manually
poorly.
now. 1 second. So
I rolled a
Loris,
2 plus 3.
Loris was 7. American 2 plus 3.
Yeah.
5.
Yep, I got that one. That was a nice easy one. That was a gimme.
Yeah.
Wait, it didn't,
Come on.
although it didn't for some reason add them on here. So 7. What were you? Sorry, Bill. 19.
19 total.
Okay, cool. And Morley at 16. Cool. And what did you get, Baron?
15 plus 2.
Cool. Baron 17. And we'll just get a roll. Hey, is that going to enter? Cool. This is always my favorite part, is when the podcast listeners and you beautiful viewers get to just listen to me umming and ahhing as I try and
And also, we add nothing while you do that.
Yeah,
We're
it's
just
just
sitting there
complete
like
silence.
watching you.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder
Yeah.
how he's
I like the
going.
math.
Wonder how he's going with that. Do you think he's clicked
Yeah.
the token?
I've got nothing to add.
That's fair.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
know,
That's what I
encouragement.
asked for. That's fine.
Oh, good. You've done it.
Okay, cool. So
Is
we
that
have,
helpful?
yeah, that's perfect.
At last.
Okay, so
God, he's slow, isn't he?
as you hear that growling, you both American and Morley, you look behind you and just see Morley on your side. You look back and just see 6 wolves just running alongside the cart at this point. You've seen them like pull out of the woods and just alongside the cart at the moment, and they're keeping pace with the speed of the cart at this point. And American, you look off to the right and see the same, just another 6 wolves just keeping pace by the side of the cart. Bill, it's your turn. You're up first, and you've heard this bit of a fireball happen outside the thing, and it's sort of lit up outside one of the windows, and you peer out and you just see some wolves with their teeth bared, gnashing at the sides of the gnashing at the air next to the cart.
Do they look like wolves that I've seen before?
Yeah, they look like wolves. Yeah, they're wolves.
And
I mean, you
can
don't
only
know them by
see-
name. You haven't
Daniel!
become acquainted with them. Or anything.
Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob, is that you?
Scooby.
Scooby,
That was
Woo.
good. That was
Where
good.
are you?
They smell pies.
Yeah.
And
Pies
so,
attracted them.
so the ones. So how many of them can I see? I can see all of them. Some of them. Some on each side.
Yeah, well, you noticed the fireball, and you looked out that side of the cart, and saw these wolves on that side. It's only up to you whether or not you'd even bother checking the other side or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I think I would look left and look right. I mean,
Yeah.
seeing the fireball.
Yeah. So yeah,
And
you
I'm just going to yell out.
you see them on both sides.
How many? Is what I'm going to yell out. And I am going to ready a spell.
Cool. What are you reading it for? Or what are you waiting for?
I'm waiting for a response from my comrades.
Okay, cool. Baron, over to you.
Oh. Is there any way to get away from these? I'm asking our druid.
Where it can only go as fast as the horses.
And now you weren't at any point, like, you haven't been pushing these horses to their limits. You've just been going for a casual
Should I
ride.
go faster? Am I holding the reins in the middle, or is someone?
I think
who's-
someone who can see
Good question.
would probably be.
Someone who, well, the horses can see.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Not if they got blinders on.
Oh, on the front. Yeah. Our gimp horses. So I'm not driving. Just clarifying.
Well, who
No.
in their head thought they would? We'll go whoever thought they were driving.
Well, we never
American
decided on that.
American was driving earlier. I don't know if she was jumping.
I'd
back
say
and
I would probably go to that because I've got a very
forth. Sure.
specialized animal handling. So
Yeah.
And I do not.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I see the wolves then?
No. It's you. They got lit up by that explosion from your cigarette. So you know they're off to the side of this cart. But
I'm going to ready a cantrip.
Okay. Okay. Cool. What are you?
No,
reading?
actually, I think it's actually a spell. Sorry, I should fucking know this. Yeah, I'm reading a spell. I'm reading Ice Knife. So
Okay. What are you waiting
if
for?
one appears in my vision,
Hmm.
I will shoot it.
Okay. Cool. Um, did anyone respond to Bill to let him know how many there were?
6 my side.
Okay.
Upon hearing that and knowing that these are wolves and working out like audio wise which side Morley's on, I'm going to cast a spell. I'm going to cast. Oh shit! It's not on my Roll20. I'm going to cast Fear.
Oh. Okay. Nice. What does that do? I mean, it makes them scared. I get it, but
They get very scared.
yeah.
I project a phantasmal image of the creature's worst fears. So I'm going to project a lion. An enormous lion is riding atop the carriage,
Okay.
and it's going to affect the cone in kind of the direction that Morley indicated.
Okay. And it's every single creature in a 30-foot cone must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or drop whatever it's holding and become frightened for the duration. So you're kind of just throwing it off to the side so it only catches some of the wolves, or you're trying to get all 12 at the same time?
I'm trying to catch the 6 that Morley
Yeah, cool.
pointed out, because I don't know, like I know that there are more,
Yeah.
but
Okay,
I'm
cool.
like I was responding to what he said.
Cool. Good. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We'll make it so it just catches only the wolves and not everybody in the carriage has to roll. That's probably ideal. They've rolled a total of 11.
11 is not enough.
Nice. So I think almost instantly, the moment you cast that, all of the wolves on that side just stop. They I think, Morley, you look back, and each of them just start yelping and skidding and tumbling over each other in this like ball of fur and teeth, and then just run and disappear out into the woods. So you've managed to like clear out 6 of them just like that. Morley, over to you.
That was my last level 3 spell slot, by
That
the
was
way.
good. That was very good.
Perfect.
Morley's going to check the other side and see there are 6 more, presumably.
There are.
And then I'm going to cast Firebolt, but into the sky.
Okay. Okay.
So I don't want to hit the wolves. I just want to scare them away.
Right. So just like over their heads, or like just up straight into the sky?
Yeah, over their heads, but elevating. So it's always rising because I don't want it to hit some trees.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you cast that out, and it just lights everything up. Bill, you can see the other. There's like basically another 6 on the other side of the carriage, and Baron, you finally get a good look at them all now as well. So if you wanted to use that as your
Yeah, if that
sort of to time
lights
it
them
with
up,
that.
then I'll let loose my Ice Knife.
Cool, roll to hit.
10 plus 7 to hit.
Oh yeah, that's a hit.
And so that takes 1d10. 8 damage.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that ice knife just lands directly into the maybe the 3rd wolf, like right in the middle of this pack, and it just hits right into its chest, and it yelps as it hits. And now that explodes, yeah.
Oh yeah. So that one and the ones next to it within 5 feet have to roll a Dex saving throw of 15.
So I'll say 3 of them need to make that roll. One of them crit failed. I'm going to say that was the one that it just like landed smack bang into. The other one failed, and the other one they all failed. The 3 of them failed.
So they take 10 damage.
They take 10
Each.
Okay. So yeah, so the blade, as the firebolt lights up the sky, you shoot your ice knife into the middle of this pack, and it just lands square into the middle of the chest of this wolf, and it yelps as the ice knife explodes, and you now only have 2 at the front and 1 at the back at this point.
I'm going to mutter to myself, servants of Strahd.
Cool. It is the wolves' turn. And the wolves each... So how many have we got? We don't have many now. We've only got 3. The 2 at the front on that other side, the side that you were on there, Baron, one of them just comes running as fast as it can, and it manages to catch up to the side right next to you on the side of the cart. But it doesn't have its eyes set on you. It has the horse in its sight, and it just reaches out to try and bite. It sort of leaps and tries to bite into the hindquarters of this horse, and it has hit, and it just sinks its teeth into the hindquarters of this horse, doing 4 piercing damage to it. Yeah. And the carriage just starts slowing down as the other wolves suddenly start to get closer and closer to the front. Loris, it's up to you of whether you think everything going on would wake you at this point.
Well, just looking at my passive perception, it's like a 13, so I'm assuming the commotion and fireballs and God knows what else would have kind of disturbed me.
Yeah, there's been cooling and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't see anything because I've got no dark vision or anything like that. But I'm just going to assume there's something going on outside. I'm probably going to. I'll notice. I think the thing that will spark me in my interest is the carriage slowing down, because obviously it's been tracking along at a fairly steady pace, which I've been kind of used to. But it's slowing down. I think I'm going to notice. I'm just going to barge my way to the front of the carriage where everyone is and poke my head out and sort of, what's going on? And hope for a response from that. I'm assuming no one's got any light or anything, so I can't actually see the wolves attacking, hanging off the horse. Is that right?
Yeah, you can't see anything. You don't have dark vision, so it's all very dark for you at this point.
All right. Backtracking slightly, I was going to grab Lightbringer and just and switch Lightbringer on anyway and poke my head out so I could actually see.
I think that's fine. So how do you
so
turn
kind of Lightbringer's on. It's just whispering because I don't like saying it very loud.
Okay, well, you whisper Lightbringer, and it just glows, just really dull glow.
Cool. That's all I need is
just
enough
a
to
really
see.
dull glow.
So sticking my head out the front with Lightbringer in my hand, kind of, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, and you stick your hand out, and you are like right next to where you are. There's a wolf keeping pace with the carriage at this point, like right next to you.
So seeing that wolf, I'm just going to sort of lash out with Lightbringer and give him a couple of decent whacks to sort of get him away from the carriage.
Yeah, cool. Give us a roll to hit.
Hang on. 1, 2. So first one is a 20, doing 7 damage. 13 is the second one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, both of those are hits. And you just the first hit takes care of it. You just smack it to the side of its head, and it trips and stumbles and is just left in the dirt. You're not sure if you killed it with that one hit, but it's now in the darkness, far behind the carriage.
Okay, cool.
And American, it's your turn. There's now like one that is just bitten onto this horse's hind leg in front of you, and then another one behind you, about near the back of the carriage.
Right. I'm going to just yell, back, back! And I'm going to raise my staff, and I'm going to conjure some spikes underneath their paws.
Oh, nice.
That should surely dissuade them. It's called spike growth.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to pick, obviously, alongside the carriage, the radius for the spell, to sprout thorns, and just basically trying to cover all of the area that they'd be running onto, or like a little bit in front, so that as they run, they'll be passing through spikes if they want to try to get to the horses.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
They take 2d4 piercing damage for every 5 feet it travels. I think you just... And
it becomes difficult terrain as well, importantly.
Yeah, that's fine. So you sort of point out with your staff, and the ground, you can't really see too much of what's happening on the ground because you're passing it at such a rate. But it's enough to basically stop both wolves in their tracks as they tumble into the spike growth and the cart just carries on into the darkness, leaving them far behind. So that's basically them taken care of.
Oh no, did they hurt Axel? Was it Axel's leg?
Axel's up the front. Axel's fine, but this horse.
Axel's my favourite.
You can see blood just trickling down the hind.
They did get slashed.
Yeah. Yeah, you do see like blood trickling down the hindquarters of this horse, and it's clearly struggling to keep pace with the horses in front of it.
Oh no. The horse is injured. It's slashed. He's been slashed.
It's the one with the top hat.
Oh my god. Yeah. And he's got like a long curly mane.
I hope Axel's wearing a bandana.
Oh my gosh, he so is.
Bill, get up here. Bill, the horses. He's maimed, Bill. Because I've seen Bill cast Cure Wounds before and restore people. Bill, can you help the horse in any way, Bill?
Sorry, for some reason it keeps on cutting out when you're talking. I'm assuming you just asked me to cast Cure Wounds. And yes, I will. I will cast Cure Wounds on Slash. Just gonna hang out the side of the carriage and just slap the hindquarters of this.
I'm not sure you'd be able to
beast.
reach it from unless you've got like stretchy arms. You're not going to be able to reach past where everyone is sitting to the horses in front of that. So if you're wanting to heal the horse, you're going to have to come to a stop, or find
we're
some
not
way
stopping.
to maneuver out.
I'll maneuver out and up the side.
That would
Can't
be
he just poke his head out between us at the front? We could.
How
I will
close- Yeah,
move
trying
out. Like one of us can move out of the way and enable him to get into our seat, right?
Yeah, but
We can pass them along.
reaching a horse's hindquarters from the front of a cart
Yeah,
is
like,
quite a reach.
even
It's
you're
there's all
not
the
close enough
mechanism.
to touch the horse from a
Yeah.
seated position. You got
Okay.
to.
Well,
It's- the
okay. If
mechanism's
it's going to be
usually
that
quite big.
difficult, then I will say
I'm not
that we
trying to
shouldn't
make it
stop.
difficult. This is just how horses and carts work.
Oh, I'm not saying it's a problem. I actually have a spell that I can cure the horses at range.
Okay, all right.
So I will just wait until my turn.
Oh, there's no.
comes up.
It's free movement at this point. That's
Okay. I will use healing word on the horse.
I thought you were going to cast Cure Horse at range.
That's actually my newest
That
cantrip. It's very specific.
usually involves a
horse.
shotgun, unfortunately, Baron.
Oh,
It's a cantrip called glue.
wow, that's cool.
Create glue.
Out to pasture.
Mold gelatin.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you cast that, and the wound kind of heals over, and it manages to.
Oh, I should roll it.
Oh yeah, how much does it?
It's not great, but anyway, carry on.
Well, no, because
It's
you might roll-
1d4 plus your spell mod.
Yeah, healing word. So I just yell out at the horse in Elvish, and I got 7 healing for it.
Like that's good. It reverses all the damage from that wolf bite, so it manages to. It starts off getting slowly back into it, but then manages to get back up to the same pace as the other horses, and you're back.
What
on
noise
track.
does that horse make
Yeah.
At what point?
after he's been healed?
Running noises.
Running with it. I thought you'd do a solo or something.
Anyway, I don't have any. Wait a second. No, I don't think I've got any horse sounds at the ready. Yeah.
Use your nays.
Yeah, maybe I had one ready to go. Okay, so yeah, you guys are back on track towards Vallaki, and it's starting to get a little dark by the time you start seeing some lights up ahead. So I'd say like another, maybe another hour and a half passes before you see those lights further up ahead. So let's have a quick look at what we've got.
Is this a well-traveled road, do you think? Does it look like a lot of people? It's like it's not like or a ruddy road. It's like What's the road like?
This road has been, because you don't see much of it right now, but from when the sun was up, it looks like it is a main road of sorts, but it also doesn't look that well traveled. It's wide enough to have maybe a cart side by side, but you don't think that many people travel these roads in general.
Right, there's a lot of weeds and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the old Svellich road that you've been travelling on meanders into a valley watched over by dark, brooding mountains to the north and to the south. The woods recede, revealing a sullen mountain berg surrounded by a wooden palisade. Thick fog presses up against this wall as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch the town aslumber. The dirt road ends at a set of sturdy iron gates with a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. Planted in the ground and flanking the road outside the gates are a half dozen pikes with wolves' heads impaled on them.
Fuck. You know the setting is gothic when even the mountains are broody.
Yeah.
And
and
they're
so,
not a fan of the wolves either, huh?
and so you slowly move the cart up towards these closed gates, and you can see that there's just these big, heavy iron chains with big iron padlocks that are keeping these gates closed at this point.
This is the first time we've come across a gate that doesn't automatically open.
And you can just see a couple of these guards standing behind these gates, just looking out at you.
All right, I'm going to bring the horses to a slow down and then to a stop, and I'm going to call out to the guards. Ho there!
And one of the guards looks through. Morley's ready for something.
Ooh. Is he thinking that I've just called them hoes and they're going to get really
I
offended?
think he's just excited to see a new character. There we go. Yeah. Adam, I hope you like this because this is a good one. I think it's a very good one. But the main one of the guards kind of leans up against the bars and says, "Yeah, hello. Yeah."
We sound like that.
Go on.
Hello.
All right, welcome to Vallaki. Sorry to say we're closed up for the night. Thanks for you're welcome to stay outside the gates until morning if you like, and then we open the gates about 8 a.m. So, you can, if you want, you can just sort of chat with us. We're on night guard, Jeff? And he just looks over. He looks over at the other one, and the other one just sort of like gives him a bit of a shrug. Yeah, Jeff's not much of a talker, Jeff. What have you guys been up to tonight?
Well,
Just going to go silent.
Jeff gives him like a bit of a grunt, and he's like, "Oh, sorry. Welcome to Vallaki. This is the Morning Gate. I am Gregory, and that's Jeff." He says, pointing over his shoulder. Actually, that's all I had to say. Is really just telling you where you are, and that we're closed.
Gregory. Can I call you Greg?
Yeah, you know what? I love it when people call me Greg. Jeff, he hates it. He hates it when I call him Jeff. Jeffrey, he says, looking over at Jeffrey. Jeffrey hates Jeff, and he doesn't ever call me Greg. He always calls me Greg. He's got a thing about names. But yeah, you can call me Greg.
Yeah, before we know it.
we've just been attacked by wolves.
Well, yeah, you've come through the Svellich. Do you know much about the Svellich roads? They've got the Svellich woods, either side of them, filled with dire wolves and normal wolves.
I can see you don't much like the wolves, pointing at the wolves' heads on the...
Oh, I don't mind them too much, but those are just leftovers from last week's festival.
The festival?
Yeah,
What sort of festival did you have?
one about wolves.
You just used the bodies.
Well, no, we had to parade these pikes around the streets, up and down the streets with wolves' heads on pikes, and there's only so many wolves on pikes you can get you excited, and then the rest of them just kind of we left them out here as a sign of the big festival, the big wolf festival.
Look, we've got children in the back, and we don't want to be eaten by wolves.
That makes sense. But I'm sorry, we're all locked up for the night. You're welcome to just, if you've got bedding, just chill out, I guess.
Hey, can you please call your burgomaster?
No.
He wants to speak to the manager.
What a Karen.
Okay, Karen.
What's the male Karen? Garen?
Byram.
Byram.
Well, I'm not gonna.
Burgomaster.
I'm not gonna go get the burgomaster. Jeffrey, are you gonna go get the burgomaster? And Jeffrey's just like, just laughing at them. Yeah. No,
Do you want to speak to our burgomaster?
What?
Ismark.
You've got a burgomaster of the
Come out
carriage.
here. Yeah,
I'm not going to do a
summon-
big back and forth between two NPCs. I think.
Just let us in then.
Okay.
That's what Gregory said. He's like, I'm not doing an NPC.
You are in control of the
Back and
situation.
forth.
I am in control of the situation. I said, look, we can't just let. There's a certain time of the night. We've got the burgomaster himself set these rules at certain times of the day. We've got to close up, not let anybody in. It's dangerous. You know how you had those wolves out there? Well, we don't want them in here. There's a lot of bad things, and we keep this town as safe as we can make this town, by following the rules. But you got which burgomaster you got in there?
The Barovian burgomaster.
Oh, I heard the Barovian burgomaster was murdered or something.
No, he died of a heart attack. Too many burgers. But we had his son, who was the, I guess, step burger.
He's the new burgomaster, Baron. Don't sell him
Yeah.
short. Don't
The
make
new
him sell
bur-
a replacement.
This is Ismark the Lesser.
That's a good introduction.
Oh, wow.
This again.
He's already angry.
Yeah, and Ismark inside the carriage is sort of hearing this conversation, and he pokes his head out the window of the cart, and he gives a bit of a wave. He says, "You wouldn't let us in, could you? Just I'm trying to get my sister to safety. And these fine people have taken me all the way from Barovia. If you could just open the door for us."
You heard the man. Burgomaster's orders.
And the guard, oh, this is a real tricky one. I've got to say, it's quite a tricky one. What do you reckon, Jeff? And Jeff just gives a bit of a shrug. He says, how about I come over there maybe and just take a look, make sure you've got nothing going on in there. We've just got to make sure everything's okay, above board. Is that all right? I'm just going to get you guys to stay on the cart while I undo these padlocks and chains, and all just stay there, because as soon as I see you running for them, I'm going to close up again. And he's just waiting there to make sure that you guys are just going to stay on the cart. Yeah.
Please be my guest.
Yeah.
Fill your boots.
And he takes this big key ring off his hip and starts unlocking some of these padlocks. And Jeff is saying something about how we shouldn't be doing this. It's curfew's a curfew and blah blah blah. And he just shrugs and just keeps going. And, well, I'll check out the car. It'll be all right. We'll let him in. And he removes the chain from the gate and opens up the gate enough for him to be able to walk through, and closes them behind him. He goes, "Have you got anything to declare?" "No, just kidding. I'm just going to check out, make sure you got no scary things in there, any monsters. You know about the monsters around these areas, don't you?"
Yes.
Good. That was the first question I needed the answer to. Thank you.
Are you going to ask if we had any seeds or plants material?
Yeah.
This is like the "Are you a terrorist?" question.
And he just walks up to the cart and he looks at the three of you on the front of the cart. So eyes you up and he's like nods. He's got his weapon next to him. He's like looks up at you and gives you a nod. He walks over to he gives like the tires a bit of a kick I don't know what he just does. He just gives a little kick. Sturdy. He's like,
Just wooden wheels.
yeah. He's like, it's quite a nice cart we got here. Is this the Burgomaster's, is it? As he's sort of like peering and sees Irina and the kids, and Ismark, and Ismark gives him like a little bit of a smile, and he just looks down and sees Loris prone on the ground, and he's like, is the big man all right? He says, aiming
He's,
at
Depends who you ask.
He's just sleeping.
sleeping.
He's fine.
Been a big day. Oh, I know about that one. I only got up about
Watch
an hour
this.
ago.
I'll give Loris a wee like tickle in the ribs with the toe of my boot, and try to get it like a snore or a giggle out of him.
So you're gonna tickle me while I'm in my sleep. So
I think your laugh said it
Colour-
all. I think that was just like Loris's giggle. I think that's what.
Just like the toe of my boot, just in his ribs, just like
Yeah. And I think he picks up on like how heavily armed you guys are, and your swords are all sort of looking pretty battle worn and stuff as well. He says, "Been a big day, has it, mate?" And he aims that one towards you, Bill.
yeah, you could say that. We're at that windmill. What's down the road? Cleared it out, but
You cleared that out.
yeah,
Oh,
it's empty now.
and he sort of turns over back towards the other guard. He says, "They cleared out the old bone grinder. Can't believe it. We've got to let these guys in. This is fantastic news." And he makes his way back to the front of the cart and gives you guys a bit of a nod, and he just opens up these big iron gates, and says, why are you coming to Vallaki anyway? Where are you heading? Like within
Seeking-
Vallaki?
Seeking refuge in the monastery. Oh, what is he talking to, sorry?
He was just aiming that towards the three on the front of the cart.
The first place we want to go is an inn. She's just lost her patience with this idiot. God, she's just like, I'm so tired. I'm so traumatized. Just let me find a bed.
Yeah. Oh, you'll be wanting the blue water, and if you just keep going, you'll get to it. On your right. You'll be great.
Thank you, my
They got-
good
they
man.
got
Thank you
rent,
so much.
They got room, drink, whatever you want. Great place. Can't miss it.
Greg.
Fabulous, thank you.
Greg, I've got one question for you before we get on our way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know much about the old windmill? You've heard a lot about it, have you?
I've heard enough in regards to people who go looking around up there that don't come back. Now, let's just say that.
I might buy you a drink tomorrow, Greg. Night to you, sir.
Good night, folks.
Thank you.
All right. Let's put you on to...
Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Jeffrey.
And Jeffrey he's shaking his head. He can't believe that this guy's let more people in.
Silly.
More people.
As in, like, not the first time. Not the first time Greg's done this.
Shit at his job.
Tonight, yeah.
We have like a big map here, and I need to move your token from. We'll use that party token again, I reckon.
Party token.
So you guys have come in through the east gate, where there were 2 guards. That's a very big token. Let's shrink that down. Cool. I think the first thing you notice as you pass through these gates is just the difference of Vallaki compared to Barovia. The houses don't look like they've just been... Yeah, they don't look like they've been attacked night after night like Barovia. They look a lot newer. They look a lot more modern, I guess. That like windows haven't been boarded up. Everything looks pretty normal, almost like a more populated version of Phandalin at this point.
Some nice cul-de-sacs.
yeah. There seems to be like a lot of houses and a lot of small shops, sort of dotting this road further into Vallaki. And yeah, so he's mentioned that the Blue Water Inn is sort of, you can't miss it if you just sort of kept going through. So if you like, we can just sort of move you until you find it. We can detail that you pass, at one point you'd pass on your left just a large, what some of you can see is the stockyard. There's enough light now to see, like there are still lights on in people's houses. There's lights on in the streets, and you can see this big stockyard off to your left at one point. And you keep going as roads sort of branch off to the left and right. There's a little sign at this intersection that sort of says like city centre, and that's off to your left at this point. And you can get, and there's another big sign also pointing towards the Blue Water Inn. As you get towards this crossroads here, you spot what looks to be the Blue Water Inn. Let's just get some information up for that. So you can see this building where you can just see grey smoke just coming out of this chimney of this large 2-story wooden building with this nice wooden stone foundation. The only thing is that this building looks like it's been around for a wee while, and the roof is starting to sag a little bit. And on that roof is just a few, like several ravens just perching on the edge of this building. And there's a painted wooden sign hanging above the main entrance depicting this blue waterfall.
Ravens.
Again with the ravens.
Like Strahd's family crest or whatever it is.
Did he have a raven as a family crest?
Yeah. Well, maybe not a family crest, his crest.
Right.
It was done in wax.
Oh.
Yeah,
I think I need to grab tokens, otherwise you're not going to see anything at all.
it's pitch black.
Yeah. Where was the last place we had your tokens? At the... Here we go. We'll just grab them from here. So I think you guys... Are you all like disembarking from the carriage in front of this place?
Can I just do like an insight or something on the ravens to see if they seem like just normal birds or if they're like abnormally watchful or intelligent seeming?
Yes, you can absolutely give
Just
me an
'cause
insight check.
We've been haunted by these birds in the past a little. I've rolled a 13 plus 3.
Oh, actually, your tokens are there. If you actually just zoom to the bottom right. So total of 16. Yeah, these ravens are very interested in your arrival. They are keeping a bit of an eye out. Yeah. They're not making much noise either. They're just sort of like looking.
There was
I'm just
also
gonna
one at
sort
the
of
window,
like-
wasn't there?
There was.
Yeah,
there
I'm going
was.
to elbow Baron and just kind of put my head towards him and just sort of mutter, might be being watched again.
Absolutely. I think he's sending whatever he can to watch us. I didn't think he'd be allowed, or any servants of his would be allowed in here, but if they are, then it's not as safe as I'd hoped.
What you can see outside this building is you do see just this 3-foot high stone room surrounded, like just off towards the left of the entrance of this place, and what looks like stairs up to the second floor off to the right, and just like also just a small shed with what looks like a wood and just like a small storage shed off to your right. And
Should we just
there's
head towards...
a lot of noise coming from inside that tavern at the moment.
What kind of noise?
Just like merriment, just like people chatting, and it sounds like there's a lot of people in there.
Like fiddly-dee music. Fiddly-dee.
There's no music happening. There's just a lot of people in there talking and chatting, drinking probably.
Bill?
Bill walks in.
Okay,
Amazing move.
that is
I follow.
and so descriptive. I loved it.
Give that man an inspiration.
Throws his cape behind him.
Okay, well let's sort of set the scene here. Is this going to be good? All right. there are damp cloaks hanging from pegs in the entrance portico, and the tavern is just packed with tables and chairs, with narrow paths meandering between them. A bar stretches along one wall under a balcony that can be reached by a wooden staircase that hugs the northern wall. Another balcony overhangs an entrance to the east, the one that you've just come through, and all the windows are fitted with thick shutters and crossbars, which are at the moment open, so that's fine. Lanterns hanging above the bar and resting on the tables bathe the room in a dull orange light and cast shadows upon the walls, most of which are adorned with wolf heads mounted on wooden plaques. And there's a dark-haired lady behind the bar who looks up to see you enter, and no one else seems to notice you entering but her, and she just has a big smile and she beckons you over towards the bar. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
She does.
That's where we're going to end tonight. Being beckoned into the bar. That's it. That's the game.
I thought Bill was gonna bust in playing when I said there's no music.
Well, he might.
I thought Bill was like, yes.
Maybe I will.
Yeah.
Maybe I will.
It's the look on his face.
So no big cliffhanger at the end of this episode. Sorry, you guys didn't go where I thought you'd go, because that is Vallaki for you.
Just a couple of balconies.
Yeah. How do I get this thing off?
What? You didn't think it would go straight to Vallaki?
Yeah.
No, I thought you'd go to Vallaki, but I thought you might go somewhere
else. Okay.
somewhere else. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
I can't get this off. Cool. I'm stuck in this forever.
Now you're a Dungeon Master forever.
Got it.
Oh.
Yes.
What's that cool T-shirt you're wearing?
This shirt? I'm so glad you asked, Joe. This shirt is one of the shirts that you too can buy and wear, just like me. It's got the crew. It has the crew running from bats. Some of Strahd's bats. It's very cool. Made by American and available not everywhere, only in one place.
Everywhere T-shirts are sold.
Everywhere T-shirts are sold. And you can pick them up, and they're pretty cool. They're actually very cool. There's also another one which I don't have near me, but it's Getting Dicey done in the Ravenloft style logo, which Shannon put together very, very artistically. It was very nice. It looks awesome. So definitely pick one up. Definitely. What are you doing? But what we'll do is we'll just thank some people as well for giving us a follow, and Random's been throwing some bits our way as well. And so does Kalan Darklaw. So man, you guys have been going crazy. So I think
Payday.
Random's given us another like 400 bits. Kalan's given us another 500, and Tombstone has given us a follow. So thank you so much for that follow. Thank you for all the bits and the support. You guys are fantastic. And just to show off, Random's given another 100 as well, just because he likes that. But you guys are getting Needles barred down. I'm so annoyed that it's not working, that you can't see it. It's currently sitting at 3,496, so you got to get that down to 0, and then Needle will respawn with another spin of his wheel.
We have to remember to shake some NPCs' hands.
Or do you? It
would be wrong not to.
You should have given Greg a bit of a handshake.
Yeah.
You hated Greg, didn't you, Joe?
No.
Oh my god.
I didn't hate Greg.
No. Kalan, what are you doing? He's just gifted another 5 subscriptions.
Oh, what?
Whoa, take it easy.
Oh, he's given it to he's given it to the Prof J Skulls, X Me Hoi Manoi, Sladge So, and Hollow Julian. My God, this guy is going all out, dude. The support is amazing. I feel like we need to dance for at least 30 minutes solid. For this
You have to do your old man dance.
Yeah, what it's like.
Oh, this one.
It's
Everyone.
Put my back out.
Yeah.
Surely Kalan would like
Thank
the Monster Hunter dance.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
he's all about the Monster Hunter. So go on, there we go. So everybody that Kalan just gave that to, that's amazing. You have access to obviously our emotes, but if you are on Discord, if you jump into our Discord, you get access to a sub-only chat where you can basically throw up suggestions for something to go on Needle's wheel. So when that counter gets down to 0, it gets spun, and either a combat or non-combat roll happens. By the by, another 5 things. You know what that did to the counter? It took it down to 996 points. We're only 996 points away from Needle showing up again. So that could be fun. That could be fun.
There's no rush.
No, there's no rush.
There's no rush.
There's no rush. Good things can happen. Good things can happen. Sometimes good things can happen.
But you never know. Like if you're giving someone a super firm handshake, it might impress them. You never know.
You could,
Yes.
yeah. I don't know if you saw exactly the description of that thing.
Well, the problem
it did them
was
damage or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I did read it, and then
that's okay.
but then I was like later on I was about to shake someone's hand, and then I thought, wait, is this I never shake anyone's hand. Why am I doing this? And then I like stopped myself. I was going to shake when Stancor was disappearing. I was going to go, thank you for your service, Stancor, and it would just. But
We forgot all
stupid.
about Stancor. I'm so sorry. We forgot to. I didn't keep track of him.
no, well, in my mind I thanked him and
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
guess-
want to hurt him as he left, and I would have done that. So I metagamed out.
The idea is that we've got another however many weeks of play. You'll forget it. You will forget it. It is the next handshake, and that could
Yeah.
be
Oh, so it does.
that could be in
wow.
a year and a half's time. So
Oh, man, I just assumed it was like a 24-hour effect, like the magical weapon.
only some of them are a
Whoops.
24-hour effect.
OMG.
Should be a one-hit kill.
Yeah.
I
Loris,
shake the hand
Loris
of
could
the
have.
frail old lady. Oh no.
Imagine if Loris had said, "Look, sorry, Ismark," and reached out to shake his hand.
Loris hasn't yet have had a chance to apologise to Ismark, but it could well.
No,
happen.
wait, did.
wait.
He did have a chance. He had
Let's just
multiple
reel that
chances.
back. You
Like,
did have a chance.
You know what?
And you know what Loris did? Got on the
He went to
floor
sleep.
and went to sleep in front of him.
Yeah.
While laughing.
Well,
Loris was Loris was tickled. That's why he laughed.
so I don't know if you didn't have a chance to. I'm pretty
Well,
sure
no,
you had a
but-
chance to.
It's always difficult to apologise in the heat of the moment. You know, when you've just been scolded, it's like really difficult to go. You know what? I'm sorry. Like,
It's quite
This
easy.
is true. No, it's actually very
No,
difficult
it's-
speaking
yeah,
from
it's actually
experience.
not.
I'm a
It's very
terrible
difficult.
apologizer.
I'm with
Yeah.
Laura.
Okay,
It takes me a
okay.
little
when someone has just had a massive bollocking at you, it's actually really hard to go because you're still kind of fired up on yourself. And so
Right,
it's actually
right.
quite hard to get you. Oh, you know what?
I suppose
actually,
you
I'm
did
sorry.
get yelled at. Like you got yelled at. So that's fair.
And
So,
a sword to the face.
yeah.
yeah, so that's not something Loris is kind of used to be fair.
Yeah,
It's
that's
very confrontational, wasn't it, compared to normally
It's
our
definitely-
NPCs don't really nail us down.
Yeah, it's certainly confrontational for Ismark's never been that threatening to anybody really, like especially us.
It was very serious because
It
normally
makes
he's a
sense, though.
Fuck
chill
yeah,
guy.
normally
I
he
think
needs
a
to
lot
take a
of
shit,
different way.
and this was him.
exactly.
And he's just found like kids that he knows personally that would have died, and like knowing that there was
Yeah.
other
Things-
children that they probably lived with have been turned into pies, and he's like, "How dare you?"
Yeah.
I get why he's angry. Like, don't
Things changed for him once he noticed that there were kids that he knew. The whole thing, like even for me, Ismark changed, and I wasn't seeing that coming because what I was planning on doing is as you guys were all leaving the windmill, he was going to go and excuse himself behind the windmill. So I didn't end up. So I didn't
For-
end up
for another
going.
shit.
So I didn't end up doing that.
He's still holding on.
He's still
So he's
holding
So you're
on.
Oh,
saying
man.
he's got a backlog currently.
for the backlog.
Yeah.
That's why he's grouchy.
He gets so cranky when he's holding it.
cranky when he's
I
got a
get
backlog.
that, yeah.
Right. That explains
You
everything.
guys get
Right.
it. You guys get it.
Yeah.
Desmaria says it definitely puts one into a crappy mood, which is
Maybe later Ismark will also apologize and be like, "This is my chance to tell him about how much shit I had inside me at the point," because he
Whoa.
loves talking about that. You know, he'll just be just real graphic about
he was
it.
he was Shangri. No, yeah, Shangri.
Shangri-La.
He had shit
He's
anger.
like, my
in it.
intestines were up to here.
Yeah.
I've had the here with you people.
Yeah, nice Ren and Stimpy. Cool. Out.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I've had it over here. So good. Yeah, it was good. It was a good session. Quite like that one. Got pretty intense though.
Yeah. Fuck.
Is that Red and Stimpy thing a reference to a Pacino bit?
I don't know. It's definitely surely a reference, right? I always felt it was a
Yeah.
reference.
It's probably something to do with like I always forget his name. Kirk Douglas.
Ah,
You know, often they have Kirk Douglas references and stuff like that.
Right.
in Ren and
But I
Stimpy?
don't know about that one.
Or just in
yeah,
general?
you know, like the guy with the butt chin,
Yeah.
Spartacus. That's Kirk, right?
Yeah.
Michael Douglas's father.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heaps of that. And I found out that Stinky Whizzleteats is based on.
This is a song about a quail. No, this is a song about being happy. Sorry.
Yeah, that's based on Burl Ives,
Oh, really?
the country singer type. He's even got all those things, those quotes in the song are from different quotes from Burl Ives movies.
Oh, really? That's
Because
cool.
he's on Cat on a Hot Tin Roof and stuff like that. Yeah,
Oh, wow. That's cool.
blew my mind.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's a bit of a side.
If you're a slightly younger
Yeah.
viewers, audience,
They were going, my
We're
dad
already
talks about
right
these
now.
kinds of things.
We have to be from the 50s to even know about Burl Ives, really.
Yeah, I didn't know about him at all.
But yeah, I've got a record of his, and he does what's it? Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah?
That sounds very different.
Yeah, I bet. I learned that the guys that did like the 90s Cotton Eye Joe, they're not like from America. They're like Swedish or something.
Yeah.
They're just like yeah.
They got a bunch of other songs
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
they're Swedish people that were just basically taking the piss out of like line
That's their
dancing and that
shtick,
kind of
isn't
stuff. Yeah.
What are they called?
Country
Redneck.
music. The redneck.
Some,
I can't remember.
They're
now.
just
Something
red
redneck.
band.
Oh, they're just the rednecks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the redneck.
okay. Yeah.
With the X.
Yeah, well, of course.
I don't want to seem like a super fan or something. I just remember it. You had to dance with it. Oh.
Come on, who wasn't a fan? Who wasn't? Come on. I dare you. If you were in nightclubs in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, come on.
I wasn't intermediate.
Oh,
You have to get
God.
pretty
Oh,
drunk.
God. Okay, so showing the age
that was
now.
my end of primary school dance.
Oh, God damn it. I
Was
forget.
Night Joe?
Okay.
Like I was well
I
out
really
of school.
aged myself on that one, didn't I?
You aged a lot of us, I think, Reagan.
Night Joe, and with Reagan doing that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Ladies' arms.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, fats. Dear God.
I'm just having a quick look over the chat at the moment. Kalyan said that he really enjoyed this session. Good RP and good tactics. He did say that he'd only give the roleplay a 9, I guess, out of 10, because Joe didn't have her ears on.
That is fair.
We would have
that
had
is
10 out
fair.
of 10. Come on, Joe.
I'm quite surprised that it was that high. So
Yeah?
this one's for you.
Just chuck them on.
Give me 10 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, now I have to say something sassy.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't have a line prepared.
Say something sassy. Sorry, pardon me. How good
No, I absolutely will not.
Okay. How good was the Greg overlay?
Oh,
Great.
Hello. Yeah.
He was cool. I like how tiny his face is.
Yeah. That was the part I really enjoyed as well. And it blends really well as well. Like I think it sort of hello. Yeah, I really like
You know how you said, "Oh, Joe, you really didn't like Greg, did you?"
I didn't yeah.
I'll let you in on a little secret. I was role playing.
Okay, good. I'm so used to people just
Yeah,
being their
my character was very tired
Yeah.
and not interested in Greg.
Good.
Good.
Okay.
But not me.
I wanted people to dislike Greg a little bit. There was a part of me that was just like, he's just like an annoying guard. I didn't want him to be like an arsehole guard, but I wanted him to be annoying.
Just sort of holding us up.
Yeah.
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 He had a bit to say for himself, didn't he? A bit too much.
Yeah. Yeah. I
was a fan of Greg. I didn't really like Jeffrey.
No. Oh man, we just had like oh damn.
Yeah.
Random, did you just ban Desmarius accidentally with all of those bans as well? Can you unban Desmarius?
No.
Or is that a different...
random.
Oh god, how do we unban
What
folk?
did these Marius do?
Because it'd be like the
Uh,
first time
okay,
that
he's
Des
removed.
has ever said anything rude or anything.
Yeah.
Ever.
It's like, take that for all your puns. Get out of here.
There should be a pun
Like
limit.
he banned him for saying Greg was awesome.
Greg is not awesome.
He
I
got,
appreciate you being on the ball, random.
yeah, thank you so much for getting that sorted.
Yeah, who's
we
being
did-
banned?
There was just
You can always
3
unban
little
people, sorry,
spam
Iris.
bots that just came through. And so he just deleted a bunch of messages and banned the accounts, which is perfect. But he also got Des. So take that as a warning, I guess, Des.
Collateral damage.
If we did have a pun meter instead of a whatever the
Yeah.
fuck meter we've got,
Yeah.
it'd be off the charts.
Oh no, I'm gonna get banned.
No, we'll just summon somebody every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next year and a half would be just Needle spinning a wheel.
Yeah. I'm impressed. I wasn't expecting one a session, but it looks like we're going to get one a session. We had
That
one.
is-
He's gonna be more frequent than bloody well. Oh shit, I've forgotten his name.
Oh my gosh,
Bill.
you've forgotten Billy?
Sorry, Bill. I
Bill.
forgot Billy. My God, I temporarily forgot Billy.
No,
Oh
Bill's
my God,
our
sorry.
player.
Bill's the
Oh,
player.
Billy. Yeah, sorry, I forgot the goblin.
My daughter's nighttime story is still Silly Billy,
Yeah.
which is about a family of goblins, and it's an older daughter who's upset with her baby brother who's being silly. He's Billy, and
Awesome.
it's Billy Goblin.
That's fantastic.
Oh my god.
It's so good.
Is it an actual book, or you've just made up this cool
Yeah,
story?
no, it's called Silly Billy.
Have you?
Wow.
You shouldn't need to start retelling the tale of the heroes of Phandalin.
Yeah, well, tonight I swapped out all the names because it has the grandma, the grandpa, the bar, and the pa.
Oh yeah.
And so I swapped her name in for the protagonist, and her younger sister's name for the Silly Billy,
Nice.
and then Mummy and Daddy and Dan and Grandmama.
Yeah. Cool.
And she was not happy about that. She was very
Tell the
Going off
story
script.
right.
Yeah.
like, no.
You're like, I was being charming.
I was, yeah. Nat 1. Boom.
Yeah.
Fail. Sorry.
Tell the story right, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite often do that with books though. I'll just from memory read a different book, and she'll be like, "That's not what the book says." But she's like,
Yeah.
"No,
That-
no."
It's interesting when they start recognizing what you're actually reading with the pictures and stuff. It's like,
Yeah,
Do you try and read it as slow and boring as possible until they start to drift off? 'Cause
it's a
that's
good
technique.
Yeah. So I was thinking about something. This probably already exists, but I was talking to Joe today about this, an idea for a D&D session where everybody is a player and there's no DM. Does that something like that exist? Where they're like, you are literally creating the story and just saying yes to whatever anyone else says. So you'd be
It's
like,
called improv.
yeah, but making it a bit more D&D. So like in the tavern, and be like, so what did the tavern master tell you? And then you say, oh, he told me that there was something missing. You just go, cool, now that's the focus. So yeah, basically improv, but with dice rolls and stuff and no DM.
I played something like that once, but it still kind of had a DM, but it was more collaborative with the players.
Right.
That was the first D&D like game I ever played.
Okay.
But it was only just one session. But it was called Dungeon World. I don't really know
okay,
anything
cool.
about it though.
But it was
Dungeon
But it
World.
was similar to that, so it didn't have a DM.
It did sort of have like a game master or something,
Right,
but it was,
right.
I think the point of it was that the players more like created the story with the game master.
Yeah, gotcha. I think there's something to that. I think that could be pretty cool. Could be pretty fun. Someone said it's called Fiasco, so I might need to look up Fiasco.
I'd like to play that honey bear or the honey heist game where you're all bears.
that would be fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that'd be cool.
yeah. Well, we've got a couple of in a couple of weeks we're going to be down one character, so we need to decide if I just play as Morley, or if we do something else. If someone wants to DM something and we just do a little fun little one shot for that week. So I'm open. Or obviously the other option is we go and embarrass Adam at his show.
I think we should seriously just go to Adam's show. Like, I really
Hey,
do.
let him embarrass himself.
Can I just say, I've done this for a while. Neither you turning up nor me just doing it will be embarrassing.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, that's an invite,
Good.
right?
As somebody who's seen one of Adam's shows, it was actually surprisingly quite good.
I'm sure you meant that to sound quite nice, but
Yeah.
I'll give that a 2 on the D20.
Yeah. Jacob
No,
was saying,
it was
what's
good.
the show? Do you want to do a pitch for your show for anyone who's in Wellington, New Zealand in 2 weeks' time?
It's Raw Meat Monday. I've been booked to host a show of raw comedians.
Random said,
right.
it's New Zealand comedy, don't bother.
Oh my god.
Oh, that
You'll
face.
throw in a couple of good moanings in there.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you know what else is, I guess you could loosely describe as New Zealand comedy? This fucking show.
Yeah.
No, I
We're
wouldn't.
not,
I
we're
quit.
not the comedy genre.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be pretty good. So are you hosting it, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
The other thing we could do is just do like a one-off Curse of Strahd thingy.
What do you mean?
I mean, Curse of Strahd.
This is literally Curse of
We'll
Strahd.
just
Never
finish the
mind.
whole campaign in one
Just in one
session.
session.
Yeah.
That would be
Actually,
cool.
should we just
Good.
finish it without him? I mean to say, Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. Does someone want to volunteer so I can play for once, or should I buy some stuff and set it
I
up?
would if I knew how to do it.
Shannon.
If I knew how to play it, I would.
Well, you've got 2 weeks.
I can't do anything in 2 weeks. I was trying to do my ice knife sound over the past month.
Yeah.
I've recorded it all. I just got to put it together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be keen to do some quick thing sometime.
Okay.
I'm like, how hard could it be to DM
Yeah.
Call of Cthulhu? How many ability checks are there? What? It's only like 40.
Only one that counts, Joe. Spotted.
Just
Yeah.
find hidden. Just find hidden.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Random Origin said when and where for your show, because he said he'd go. He's Wellington based, so he wants to. So it's not next Monday, but the Monday after. 2 Mondays.
Yeah, that is correct. The 22nd, and it will be at Fringe Bar, or as some people disparagingly refer to it, probably like yourself, Reagan, Cringe Bar.
Aw.
Oh, it's got New Zealand comedy in it, right? So cringe is weird.
Is Desmarius here? Is he unbanned yet? Because he'd appreciate that pun.
Which one is the Fringe Bar? That's not downstairs.
It's the one that's
the-
cut about there.
Oh.
There's a little taste. There's a little taste of New Zealand comedy.
Picking up those stones from the glass house there, Reagan.
This is definitely raw meat.
I don't do it for a living, so it's okay.
No, which one is it? It's not.
There's got to be like
It's
a.
on that.
Yeah,
Is
that's
it
It's on
Blue
Ellen
Note?
Street.
Is it Blue Note?
Allen Street. No, so that's probably about 6 or 7 years ago. There was Blue Note turned into Fringe Bar, which is now
yes.
a chicken restaurant.
Yeah.
This is a thrilling insight into the lives of Wellington.
You know,
Yes.
This is an
Miss-
earthquake-prone kind of dungeony sort of. It's actually if you like dungeons, you'll love this place. Cookies in the back,
Do they have dragons?
comedy.
Hey, is it the one with the skeletons down the bottom?
There's a sort of a faux, probably deeply offensive Asian style mosaic on the wall of a woman with her breasts out.
Okay, well that's the selling point.
Tell me more.
But because I didn't want to bring it up, but there's a bar. There is a pirate bar in Wellington. I don't know if it's still there, but I didn't want.
What is that? I'm hosting it. It's at the pirate bar. I'm hosting it. Pirate character.
Have you seen it though? You go downstairs and there's skeletons and stuff like that.
It's a couple of streets over. That's called our bar.
That's right.
It is.
Yeah.
And they specialize in rum. They just do loads of
Oh,
times.
wow.
That's right.
That's
It
cool.
was neat.
Yeah, that sounds
I've not
awesome.
I wouldn't go
No
there.
kombucha.
Stuff. A messer.
Cool. Should we call it there? Are we done? Are we good?
Yeah,
Alright, cool.
I got a boost.
Have we all detoxed after that intense session? I'm gonna.
I'm just glad I was in the front of the wagon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we talk about what people would have done if they would? No, leave that for later.
No.
We'll leave
That would
for-
entire.
What?
I'd have
Don't
to
worry
do
about
role
it.
play.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Thank you everybody for coming along and checking us out, and a massive, big, juicy, squishy, happy time. Thank you for everybody who's subscribed to us,
Don't like
which is
that.
a bunch more thanks to Kalan. So, dude, thank you so much for the support, and thanks for sharing the love with all of these people. You gifted like 11 friggin' subscriptions, so that's amazing. You're fantastic. Thank you everyone who put any bits towards the countdown as well. Random and Jackalope. And of course, Kalan. Thanks to everyone for watching. Give us a follow if you're not already. Buy a shirt if you really want to show some support because they're very cool. And we'll see you either in our Discord or at the same time next time. Thank you so much. Goodbye, everybody. Mwah.